No, so I was at my house getting ready for this event, and I'm watching the game. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, like you're watching, listening, right? I'm getting ready. I'm peeping at the TV, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, who's balling? Let's get it. Walks the first two, but then, figure something out. Hop in the car, listening to Riz on the radio and Gary and all that stuff. Driving to Marysville. I'm like, all right, cool. We're in this. And then I pull up to the event, and Woo gets up his first hit. And then Riz is talking about how he smiles a little bit, goes over to Chisholm, pats him on the butt. Things, yeah, you broke up
Like,
the
great
no hitter.
sportsmanship.
Great sportsmanship. And then
What a guy.
Then another hit after that, and I get out of my truck, and it's 5-0 in the seventh inning, I think seventh or eighth, and I'm thinking, oh, we're good, baby, let's go. I should know better. One, you're playing the Yankees, and you're playing at Yankee Stadium. An hour later, I'm getting a beverage. And let me see what the final score was. And I see F/10 innings, and we lost. And I looked around like people understood what I was doing.
Surely this is from
and
a
I'm looking around
different
like, are you guys kidding me right now? What happened? And then I'm sitting there. I can't even enjoy the event for the next 30 minutes because now I'm looking at the play-by-play, trying to figure it all out.
No,
like,
you're
all right,
at this concert going through like the MLB app summary.
Ludacris is in the back going
Let me
crazy.
see all events, not just scoring, all events.
All of it. I'm breaking it down. Like, where did it go wrong? I'm like, Munoz? Brash? What happened? And then I go home and I look at the highlights again, and I come here again. I look at the highlights, and I'm just like, this one, and I'm listening to Salt go crazy this morning.
Yeah.
On the show, as he should. And yeah, man, this one hurt, man. This one hurt more than any other loss I've experienced this year, maybe last year with this team, because I thought it was in the bag, and I was free. Like, I shut my mind off, and I'm like, move. Get out the way. Yeah, I'm vibing with Luda. Like, hey, let's go. Mariners won. And then I pick up my phone and reality hit.
The universe you were I loved it. There was a universe where I was watching, feeling like I should be covering my eyes. Like, this is the most Mariners heartbreaking kind of thing. And I love knowing that in that exact moment, because you didn't quite have the info.
Yeah.
It was just, you were living in a different universe.
Different universe.
Like, what was that? There was a universe where Brian had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And things were good.
Well, I knew he didn't have the no.
Right.
Because
That's true,
I heard the hit, but I was
mean?
like, he did his job. Of
I
course.
want to be there.
Of course he goes there. And it was a perfect environment because, one, this Ludacris, right? Everyone's 40 and up in that piece. We'll call it 35 and up. There was some 20s in there as well, but for the most part.
Yeah.
And there's no drama. They didn't even have a security check walking in that thing. That's how you know
like,
no
"We
one's
trust
tripping.
you."
Like, y'all good. And the vibes were good. And then it jacked it all up.
All right, well, let's actually talk about the game. Here's what's a bummer about all of it. It really is a shame that we saw the game we did from Brian Wu, and that's not what we're talking about. Like,
Right.
it really is a shame. The first thing out of my mouth today should have been, oh my God, Brian Wu pitched a hell of a game. I can't believe what we just saw. What an ace. Deserves that all-star nod. Like, I am so happy for this guy. That's the best start I've seen from a guy for this team all year. That should have been the conversation we were having. Yankees fans stood up and were applauding when he gave up that hit to Jazz.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about instead, because what happened was this team completely fell apart. And what's so frustrating is there was still some of that loss that was in your control. I appreciate the competitiveness and the drive of a skipper for leaving a guy in who had been pitching a no-hitter through 7 and saying, you know what, get this out. Like, part of me kind of loves the idea of, like, trusting your guy. I do wonder if other managers would have been like, all right, at this point, you're up to a career high in pitches for a game. We got to pull you. I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll start there with, like, when did this get out of hand? Was there any point in this where it's on a manager to pull a guy, or is this just the inevitability of a Yankees lineup?
I think Dan's mentality is old school, and it shows itself sometimes, right? When you allow your pitcher to go 103 pitches, that's old school mentality. Who were we talking to the other day? I think Sims, and he was angry, like, guys don't throw complete games anymore. Don't throw that many pitches. So I understand why he would, because he felt like he was such in a groove that he'd be able to, figure some things out.
Yeah,
So I'm not
still 97.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I think that I probably would have taken the same approach there. There were other things that happened. We were just talking to Mike on his way out. Decisions late in the game that you can kind of scratch your head a little bit. And there are decisions that Dan makes at times that lets you realize this is first go at this. This is full first go at being a manager, and he's going to learn from this. But no, I was okay with the Woo situation. Yeah.
I do have a PSA about Cal Raleigh. There was a pitch called a ball, should have been a strike, borderline. It's not like the absolute best job framing, and so some people were saying, "Oh, Cal caught that, took it out of the zone. That's on him." Like I don't know if he drops his hand, whatever it is, it doesn't go your way. And then obviously there's the missed tag on the slide. I think it's fair to be critical of any player and be like, "Oh, you got to do that, man. You're a platinum glove guy. You got to do that." And then also recognize that like you're not even over 500 without Cal Raleigh.
When it comes to the slide, players make plays. Who was that? Volpe? Was that Volpe? Volpe made a play. He's going in with the left, know that the tag is coming, turns his body and touches the plate with his right hand. And I don't know the fundamentals or mechanics when it comes to being a catcher in that play, but I would assume, all right, just being the athlete that I was, that your job is to go for the nearest limb that you can touch to get that out. He went for the nearest limb. Volpe just moved that thing out the way, wrapped around and touched the plate. So, yeah, could Cal have made that play? Yes, he could have made that play. Volpe just made a better play. That was a hell of a slide. You got to give props where props is due, man. I understand the frustration, and you always want to assign blame and responsibility for stuff. I get that. I understand that. Cal could have made that play. I think that was just a better play by Volpe.
I think take away knowing exactly what happens. You had a no-hitter going into the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
You were up 5-0. You went from Brian Wu, who was lights out, to Brash to Munoz. That's your ideal situation. That's your perfect bridge. And it just didn't work out. The top of your lineup didn't do much of anything at all. You had 4 home runs yesterday. Unfortunately, I was hoping that Cal would shock Yankees fans and disappoint Yankees fans, and he didn't. He had one come close, but unfortunately wasn't a good at-bat for one of them. But he didn't get on, or he did get on, but he didn't get a hit. He didn't get a home run. It is what it is. It's just you lost a game that you otherwise should have won, and sometimes those things just happen. I'm not trying to calm anyone down or say anything. I hated watching that game. It was embarrassing. It made me livid. I also hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Astros. And you know what I hate most about the Yankees? I hate that the Yankees know they're going to win all the time. And not only that, but they talk about players on other teams like, we got to go get that guy. And it really, I can't say on air, it really annoys me.
Yeah, there were tweets last night I saw.
We gotta go get Woo.
Yeah, let's go get Brian Woo. He'd look good in pinstripes.
Shut
27 rings.
Oh God, I wish I could speak entirely.
That's their reality,
though. It is, and that's the thing.
Reality.
And that's the thing. And you just have to be very aware of reality as a baseball fan. I think if you play that game 10 times, you win 9 times. Unfortunately for you, you didn't win this time.
I don't think so.
What? You know
I don't
what
think
I mean?
you win 9 times.
You don't? I
Nah.
think that you do.
I think the Yankees are good enough, and that ballpark is so janky.
So what, you win 7 times?
It's the Yankees. Let's be real.
A no-hitter.
I saw last night.
Yankees.
There was a stat I saw last night. That was the first time a team had been no-hit through 7 innings and came back from a 5-run or more deficit since the 70s.
I think that was deeply, deeply rare, and it just so happens to be that it happened to you. So what do you do with it? Yeah, you can get angry, but can you really take a definitive statement about a team with something that you rarely ever see? Or do you just say, man, Munoz was tipping those pitches. What are you going to do? You can't have him suddenly stop. You don't have another arm to put out there, so it just doesn't work out for you.
I think it's deeper than that game. You got swept.
Well, yeah, your offense is not the Yankees' offense.
And you got reminded where you stand in this baseball world. Yeah, you can look at it and say, well, no team has come back from that since the 70s. All right, that's one game. End of the day, you got swept. End of the day, you were up 5-0 and you allowed something to happen that hasn't happened in a long time. End of the day, you were coming off a good series prior to this, and this is your opportunity to kind of set yourself up to see where you stand against the big dogs, and it's just not enough. It's just a horrible series overall. I went from first game, oh, we're good. Second game, all right now. Third game to you're just not good enough. You are the silver bracket like I described last year.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, and what do you do? Like, I just throw my hands up and say, this is who they are.
That's kind of where I'm at, though, and that's why I don't quite get, like, the idea of, like, true anger about, like a defeatist attitude, because I'm like, live in your reality. What are you going to do, go out and buy the Yankees payroll? That's not your reality.
No.
So what are you going to do? Give up on not making the playoffs at all? Constantly be in a state of rebuild? Constantly try to retool the roster until you feel more confident? You're never going to be as confident as some of the top teams in the league. That's your reality. It's been the reality since, with very few exceptions. I know there have been times when the Mariners have carried out like a top 10 payroll, but with very few exceptions, that's been the reality of the Mariners. So what? The Yankees are better than you. Okay. And I also don't like defining the Yankees as, oh, they're a wild card team. The Yankees were in first place. They fell out of it with a bad stretch of play, like 8 days ago? I'm sorry, but they are not a fair comp for the average team that's going to be hovering around the wild card in the American League. The Mariners are. They're deeply flawed with potential.
The Yankees could lose 6 in a row, and their fan base is going to be upset, but they still know they're going to make the playoffs. It's just different levels to that. Yeah, you're right. The Yankees they aren't your average wild card team. They're a better squad, man. And whenever you play in that ballpark, man, anything can happen. Like, you can't relax. I made the mistake of relaxing yesterday, thinking that Wu had things under control.
But Luda had an impact there. You know what I mean? You should have been
influenced
relaxed.
me. The vibes had me going. But
saying.
I should have known better. Especially in that ballpark. Every fly ball, you hear the crowd get excited.
I hate them so much.
Because they know there's a chance. All you got to do is clip this thing just a little bit.
I judge those people, though.
And you have an opportunity to go out there. But it's different there. Like here at T-Mobile, if you all excited for a pop-up, you're like, come on, man. You know how hard it is to hit bombs here. But at Yankee Stadium, every ball has a chance to go out. But this was we were just reminded.
Yeah.
We were reminded. You got to do more. So my thing is, how does management take this? Do they see it as, we're just not good enough, let's tear this thing down and rebuild? Or do they say, all right, well, we just need to get better because we're clearly good enough to get into the playoffs? Like, take the necessary steps forward. This was garbage. This series was bad, but this doesn't define your season.
509, Stacy might eat crow if we lose 6 straight. Okay, should I know the future? Or should I say how I feel about the team today when they were swept by the Yankees, who are a better team? The American League is not stellar this year, and I have just accepted that you're not going to be not only one of the best teams in the American League, but that, like, you're not one of the worst. So is what I should do with that make room for them losing 9 in a row? That's difficult to do in baseball.
Also, I don't think anybody was approaching this stretch before the All-Star break saying the Mariners were better than the Yankees or Tigers.
We all knew it was going to be tough. To lose both series.
Yeah.
But ideally, they'd go get 2-3 wins.
Yeah.
Across those 6 games.
I was hoping for two.
Yeah. But it's not like being swept by the Yankees was going to be out of the cards. We were hoping that the Yankees pitching would still struggle. And unfortunately, your pitching struggled. So that's really a bummer. With the exception of Brian Wu, who we should have been leading off the show about. Once again, Brian Wu not getting his very deserved flowers after that game. I don't know. You look at this game and you're very torn because I understand that sometimes a game feels so quintessentially Mariners-ian that it's hard to throw it out. Because you go, I felt this feeling before. I can't just toss it. But I feel like that's what you have to do with this game because what else are you going to do?
That's all you can do. And Munoz has to learn, right? Be careful tipping your pitches because they clearly knew what was going on. I'm sure Cal's going to go back and revisit that play at the plate and maybe work on some mechanics or whatnot, even though Volpe just made a good play. It was just all bad, man. It was all bad. It's disappointing. It's a tough way to lose a ball game. I'd rather get blown out 10-1 than lose one like that, especially at their house, too, with their arrogant fans or whatnot. But they're arrogant for a reason because you know what? Them actually saying, let's go get Wu, they can really do that.
503, if the Mariners lose all three against the Tigers, am I crazy to consider us sellers and not buyers?
Depends on what's going on around him. I think it's too early for that too. You still got some time. You'll have 15 days or something like that until the trade deadline. I think you're still one game out of the wild card spot. Like you're not. Let's relax a little bit with the selling situation.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I think it's gonna, if they lose 3 against Detroit, I think it will probably become a fairly common sentiment. I just disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, I had someone yesterday accuse me of like, oh, you're just backing up the team or whatever. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's not a stupid or bad opinion to want your team to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Compete. You just want to compete.
Yeah, and there are going to be people that go, there's an actual roster conversation, why the Mariners should not sell. Hit the brakes on calling for it. We'll have it coming up in less than 15 minutes. Like, it's a worthwhile conversation, 503. We will get to it. I don't think you're crazy. Both of us do disagree with you. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Julio Rodriguez announced he will not participate in next week's All-Star game. He'll take the time to rest and recuperate for the season's second half. What's the real headline?
Did Julio make the right decision? I think so.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
Go home and chill, relax, get some hacks in, watch some film, whatever you got to do to get your mind right because, you're just not performing at the level that we want you to and that he expects himself to. So if he thinks this is what his body and his mind needs, I'm completely fine with that. You snuck into the All-Star game anyway. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, after getting swept by the Yankees last night, the Mariners face the best pitcher on planet Earth tonight, Detroit's Tarek Skubal. That game is going to be on Apple TV. What's the real headline?
God really does give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
Hey.
That is it really is like, why are you testing me? Is how I would feel if I was the Mariners.
You know what? It's another challenge. Go ahead and get him. Like, don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't be on that flight crying and what could have been. You blew it. You're a professional. Bounce back and let's go. Yeah, you got a challenge in front of you, but there's no time to feel sorry for yourself, man.
Can I also say that's kind of what really gets me about that attitude in general, Bump, is like, I can promise you, and you know this as well as anyone, that players themselves don't look at the season and go, not worth it. This is so unfair. Like, you have to believe genuinely going into any matchup, any game, like, oh, we've got this. I know that we can do this. And even if you don't truly, you've talked about games where you were like, oh man, I don't know about this one. But there is no way that the Mariners are at all feeling what some fans are feeling right now that are shouting like it's over.
No, they flushed it. I mean, you feel it for a little bit after the game, but as soon as you hop on that plane, you take your nap or whatever you're doing, you got to reset and refocus. These guys are pros. You know that the odds aren't in your favor, obviously. And when you play the Yankees, the Tigers or whatnot, you understand that you're not delusional in that sense, but you are delusional in the sense that you feel like you can beat anybody, and that's not even delusional. It's real. You can beat anybody. But the Yankees run a 6-game skid for a second. The Dodgers have lost 6-7 in a row. Anybody can get it. So you feel what you feel. You're disappointed. You wasted a start by Wu. You let one get away. Flush it. Get back on a diamond. Yeah. Let's get back to work.
We've got Apple TV's Tricia Whitaker coming up at noon, by the way, to preview this one. As part of this conversation, we're going to ask her a little bit, too, about the Tigers. Kind of, we all know about Skubal. We all know about some of these guys. But yesterday we were talking a bit about what do contenders look like? What do the Tigers do? They're a very interesting team. I personally think very worthwhile to look into how they built up what they're doing right now. So that's going to be in there, too.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Sunday is the Major League Baseball draft, and the Mariners hold the number 3 overall pick. What's the real headline?
Congrats to prospect hoarders. This is your moment. This is your moment
to
shine.
Big weekend for you.
Big weekend for you guys. No, Andy McKay talked about hoping they never get that pick again.
That was one of the coolest moments we've had as a group and at the winter meetings. And like you said, you're like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky and move up a few spots. And, it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And, to end up with the 3rd pick is just a huge gift. And hopefully we do well with it because we don't plan on getting to pick there again.
I also hope they never get a pick there again. that being said, Bump, when we talk about how comfortable the Mariners should or will be giving up some prospects, does immediately knowing that you're getting this Sunday a number 3 pick make you feel a little more comfortable with that?
I don't care. I really don't care about this pick. I hope they do well with it. They're going to do the research, and you're going to talk about these prospects and whatnot. Make the team better now. All right, I mean, baseball drafts and hockey drafts are the weirdest drafts out there because you're not going to see these dudes for a while. Get your guys, develop them and whatnot. I'm more focused on what's happening right now with this team, what they can do to get better and get into the playoffs. Good luck with that number 3 pick. I really don't care.
No, I'm kind of with you right now where I'm like, great. It does enrich your farm system even more. I also want to preface that, like, I haven't heard a single person. Sometimes we overuse sell the farm. You are not giving up your top 5 picks for Juno Suarez. Like, I think we're mixing up a lot of different conversations. Like, if we talk about what it would cost to get Ronald Acuna Jr., it's all hypotheticals where we're comparing it to like a Juan Soto trade or a trade where you're giving up maybe 2 or 3 top 5, top 6 prospects. And yeah, that is really uncomfortable. When we're talking about a trade for a rental, we're not talking about the same prospects that you're giving up. So I think sometimes I'm seeing a lot of like, I'm not giving up the farm for a rental. I don't think anyone's actually looking at that as either a realistic outcome or something you'll need to do. You might need to overpay in a seller's market where many teams, including a team like the Yankees, are going after Suarez. But you have more money in the bank when it comes to prospects.
You've got 2 log jams, 1 at catcher, 1 at middle infield. Like, not all these guys can make it to the big league level and contribute for you. So why don't you turn those guys into actual contributors? Like, you're not going to be able to play Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Felnin Celestin, Ty Pete. You're not going to be able to play all those guys at once. And what if you draft a shortstop? I know Ivar Arquette from Oregon State is a guy that we've heard linked to them at number 3. Like, that's another shortstop added to the pile. They all can't play shortstop.
I think that there's an idea that, I don't know if we take just this NFL approach of like, oh, but they're young and cheap talent. I don't know if teams that have done it and struck gold influence. Like, I know a lot of people look at and compare it to the Astros and go, oh, look how many pieces that were drafted and developed by them ended up becoming a core of several World Series teams. But you have to think about where you're at. And not only that, but what you've historically done or not done well under Dipoto. And historically, you could probably use some more power to your offense. And I don't know if these guys that are 2-3 years away are going to help you win anytime soon. I don't know. You know what? We're actually going to stick with this because I think there's a very honest conversation we need to have about the roster. Please hit the brakes on calling for the Mariners to sell. That's next.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the Whitaker. Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Do you find yourself searching the medicine cabinet for pills and sprays during allergy season? How about having to buy one more medication when the season hits? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Rynair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients in Federal Way and in Auburn. Come see us. Book your appointment at sternsinus.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, two-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We're taking your calls at 1 p.m. We're going to talk about, look, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, because we keep getting questions about it from listeners, and we do want to at least honor the argument. If the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it? Me personally, Me, Stacy, Joe, I'm not feeling good about it. And I will be very honest about my reasoning. One is a baseball reason. One is a very selfish reason. The very selfish reason is it is our job to talk about this team very regularly. The Seahawks, don't get started back up until late August. And it would simply make my job easier if they were winning. And it would simply make my job easier if they were in the playoffs. So there's a very selfish, deeply personal reason that I would prefer to talk about a winning team. The other half is that I don't actually know that it's in their best interest to sell. And I think that I would challenge, and I'm open to the arguments, anyone saying, oh my God, they should just sell, get rid of everyone, rebuild. I know those are kind of three different things. What do you mean by that? Who do you want to move? Because the way I look at it, Bump, is mostly people are probably saying that about Randy Arozarena. There's no way you're talking about your free agents, right? Like if you're like, we're going to have to get rid of our free agents anyways, just trade away Donovan Solano. Like your free agents are not really what you're focusing on here. Either you're talking about Randy Arozarena or maybe moving a closer. Like maybe you mean like moving Munoz because you think you can get the most for him right now. And if you're talking about getting rid of, and that's a separate conversation. If you're talking about get rid of everyone and you're a rebuild person, that's also something I don't really believe in. And I don't like either argument, personally.
I think it comes down to how you view the team. Or do you think they're closer to being a playoff team or closer to being a bottom of the barrel, bottom of the division type team? Clearly, they're closer to being a playoff team than that. So what do you do to get this team over the hump? It's about your personnel. We were having a conversation off air. It's like, all right, well, if you're talking about moving a big piece, then you're talking about taking a couple steps back, right? And what does a couple steps back do? It leaves you in the same spot that you've been, or even worse, the past few years. To me, it's about taking steps forward because you're closer to being a playoff type of team. Even though it's frustrating, you just lost a horrible series to the Yankees and blew a 5-0 lead. Yeah, if you're living in the moment, frustration is going to tell you this team is garbage. Let's just start all over. But we've been starting all over for a long time. Not even starting all over. It's like you've been treading water for a long time, right? And it's about taking advantage of opportunities, of your windows of opportunities, and we all know it all starts with the rotation. Me personally, it's about getting better. This team is not bad. They're not good. They're good sometimes. They're bad sometimes. What is that? That's inconsistent. How do you gain consistency? Is you get better. And they're not as good, or they haven't performed consistently the way that we want to, right? That we think that they can. But in no way am I looking at this team like the White Sox fans are looking at them, Rockies fans are looking at them, the teams at the bottom of the barrel, the Nationals, even though we just lost to them. Like I'm not. We're on different levels. I talked about the gold, silver, and bronze brackets. We're clearly in the silver, and silver is good enough. A high-level silver team is good enough to get you into the playoffs.
In this year's American League.
Why not make a push to get into the playoffs? It's about taking the steps necessary.
Yes.
It's like when I used to play Mike Tyson Punch-Out back in the day, right? You get to a certain level and you just can't pass this level. You can't pass a level. And then you finally do, and you get stuck on that level. But once you get past that level, it's like, okay, we know what it takes. If I got to start this game all over, I can get through these first 3 or 4 levels real quickly because I know I've been there, I've done it, I know how to do it. Now it's just trying to get past this threshold. That's the way I look at the team right now. It's like, all right, you're stuck on this level, all right, but you're closer to the top than the bottom, so let's not punt.
From the 425, if they were to be sellers at the deadline, wouldn't that put Jerry's job strictly in the crosshairs because he didn't do enough this offseason? The team's underperforming, and it has for years. They haven't made any upgrades. By being sellers at the deadline, doesn't it show his failures overall leading the baseball ops? I'm glad you texted it in because I think that for a lot of people, what this really is anger at the front office and anger at an organization, and less so a pure disbelief in this team, though I do think some folks are framing, like some texts that I'm seeing in are framing a true, like you don't want to be disappointed and hurt by this team because you've been hurt by this team too many times. That's ultimately what this is, and I just want you to be honest with yourself about it. I'm honest with myself about it. You don't want to let yourself think the team will make the playoffs, and you don't want the team to try to make the playoffs because you think it will be all for naught. You have spent the vast majority of your life, some of you since you were kids, being disappointed by this team, and you're so tired of it that you've got this weird PTSD response going on. I shouldn't say weird. I take that back. You've got a little bit of a trauma response going on where when this team starts to hurt you in very new and unique and fun ways, like they did yesterday, you start going, rip off the Band-Aid, take me away from this pain now. I don't even want to watch them once again be 2 games removed from the playoffs at the end of the year. And I definitely don't want them to trade away prospects in order to do it. That's what this is really about. I think that's the reality of where the Mariners will always be. And the one thing they haven't really done is try to be more aggressive more consistently. And I also think that if anything, hear me out, making the playoffs puts pressure on people. I'm not by any means calling for anyone's job, but I'll alternate universe look at the Mariners. If a team makes the playoffs in 3 of 4 years, if the team makes the playoffs in 7 of 10 years, 8 of 10 years, what happens when they consistently don't make the playoffs? People are in the hot seat. What happens when teams consistently don't make the playoffs for a really long time is there aren't really consequences to not making it. So I'm not sure I understand persistent arguments about punting on a season in July, especially in a really competitive American League, and especially when you don't have free agents upcoming for this year that, so I can see a case for JP and Randy, and maybe that's it, but you don't immediately upgrade from those two. So I'm not sure I see like a pure cerebral, not emotional or not pain averse argument for selling.
You shouldn't sell right now.
No.
You shouldn't. Look, Boston is on a run right now. They've won 7 games in a row. And we all know that baseball is streaky as heck, right? Baseball is probably the streakiest game out there when it comes to wins and losses with these teams because performances just go up and down like that. You got to be looking at this team as who they are. Like, who is this team right now? They're a team that is 3 games above 500, 1 game out of the wild card spot. All right, I imagine being an athletics fan. They would die to be in the position that you're in right now. And sometimes we just become victims of just the moment. And right now, seeing how dominant a New York Yankees team was makes you feel like you're nothing. This team is garbage. They can't do anything. Yeah. They're not a garbage team. And that's kind of the sentiment I get when I look at the text lines, people talking about this team. They're not a garbage team. Are they a great team? No. They're a good team? Yeah, they're a pretty good team. They're not a garbage team. And it's all about competing. How are you setting yourself up to compete? Believe it or not, 3-game losing streak, this is still a competitive team. They're still in the mix. So people who talk about punting on the season, they don't believe. You might be right. They might not make the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs. But how many games in are we? Do the math. 48 plus 40, 45, right? There's still a bunch of games left.
It's July.
There's still a bunch of games left. Like, this is who this team is, but this isn't necessarily who they're going to be at the end of the year. There's still opportunity for guys to grow and for management to make this team better. You said something interesting. You said winning puts pressure on guys. Yeah. That's the part that scares me. I don't know it does. I don't know if winning put pressure on management, they would have done something a couple of years ago when we made the playoffs. That's the thing that scares me, and I think that's the thing that makes people not trust what's going on is because they're in their mind. I think some of them out there at least are thinking, we've seen this before, right? We've seen them kind of sneak into the playoffs and then felt like nothing was happening during the offseason. But you also got to understand that the offseason is not where the Mariners make their money because people don't want to come here, right? You got to do it at the trade deadline. So that's why I'm sitting back and saying, let's wait. Because for management does its best work at the trade deadline. That's where they can do their best work because of offseason, nobody wants to come here.
Yeah, you've got.
So if you have to wait until the trade deadline, you're 1 game out of the wild card spot. Let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see before you start. With this team isn't going to make the playoffs or whatnot. You might be right. But there's still so much to be done, and they're good enough right now without the trade deadline to get into the playoffs. Like, I see this team as it's constructed right now, able to sneak into the playoffs and see what happens.
I do too, especially if they add. And completely agree with you. I think some people feel like they, at a certain point, maybe they're so frustrated with the organization that they don't want them to make it because they think there's going to be change. And I don't think it's fun to root against your team so that maybe something will happen. I think it is way more fun for a franchise that's been to the playoffs 5 times to make it to the playoffs. And that's the one thing you've never done consistently as an organization. So if you want to talk about free agents don't want to come here and culture's not great and they don't have that edge and they don't believe they're going to win, you think losing fixes that? No, I don't.
And Boston got a heck of a schedule coming up too, man. I mean, I'm looking at Boston has the toughest schedule of all teams in the league right now coming up. You're in this mix. Unfortunately, you're looking at what everyone else is doing, but that's just who this team is.
All right, I'm going to spend the break looking for more puppies. Coming up, let's lighten things up a bit. A few things that we're just not going to find out about the Seahawks training camp is just the reality of training camp. But coming up next, 4 things we can learn about this team in August. Don't go anywhere.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big number.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. If you've ever been there, hop on I-5, go north, and get off exit 260. That's where you will find it. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, and get your mind right. I've done it, and I loved it. They got comfortable rooms. They're spacious, free Wi-Fi. They also have tablets in there, and you might just get a view when you're all packed in. Go downstairs and make sure you check out the restaurants. They got a great steakhouse and a cantina. And if you want to watch some ball, they got you covered there. Porter's Bay Sports Bar is the spot. The vibes are good, and also they got Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost everywhere. Hit the fairway, please. Also, this month, you can win up to $10,000 every Saturday with a grand prize of $50,000. Also, on the 26th, Neil McCoy will be in town. Book your tickets at Silver Reef Casino. SilverReefCasino.com. It's not a secret anymore.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking research in immunotherapy. It reprograms a child's own T cells to hunt down and destroy cancer. It's hope, powered by science. But here's the truth. Pediatric cancer research is drastically underfunded. That's why Safeway is stepping up, and you can too. G. Scott here asking you to say yes to donating to ImmunoHeroes next time you're at Safeway checkout. Together, we can help fight cancer for all kidkind.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Are you still using allergy pills and sprays to treat your allergy attacks? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few of the sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get relief, easily, quickly, and permanently. Find us in Federal Way or Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and we've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience because the hotel opens up August 8th. Bookings are open at snocasino.com starting on August 8th. The expanded non-gaming floor, the destination spa, the big new entertainment space and convention center, new restaurants as well. They're combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest, now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish Cyberknife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during Cyberknife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out, you essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Some things we'll learn from Seahawks training camp, along with two things we just won't. Let's save the things we won't for last. And it's not a negative thing. It's just a way to say, here's what we're actually watching, and here's what we're going to constantly have to hit the brakes on until September. What's one thing that we actually can learn from Seahawks training camp?
We can learn how... Now, last week I mentioned two gadget players on the team. Maybe it was this week, Milroe and Arroyo. So what we're going to learn... It's just they're playing with Arroyo because I feel like he's one of the more dynamic players on the team. Right, line up at tight end. He can get in the backfield if need be. Slot, outside. Like, what's your plan with a player with that much versatility? And how much are you going to give him to start? Now, he might come out there and be the third tight end, which he probably will to start this whole thing.
Yeah.
But eventually, you start watching practice film. You start evaluating your players, and you start giving these young guys more and more. How much can Arroyo handle? And how dynamic are they going to allow him to be? Because it would be a shame to have that type of weapon and not use it. The only way you don't use it in that way is if he just can't handle the playbook, which everything I've seen and heard is that he's a sharp dude. He should be okay in that department.
So from kind of an offensive mind point of view, or like a former player who's watching, I look at things in a very simple, like, how does someone's body look when they're moving kind of stuff. But, like, how are you watching for how they're using Arroyo? Are you looking for, like, are they sending him down the field? Are they using him in a certain slot?
It's a alignment assignment, right? Are they attaching him to the line a bit more? How often are they motioning him? What routes are they running? Are they letting him get downfield because he's fast enough to stretch the field? How often is he underneath? It's just what routes is he running? What combinations are going to be assigned with him and the outside receiver or whoever? It's just multiple spots. Like, I would love to see him in different areas, man. It's always nice when you have a player and you have to try to find him. Where is he? Because he's not just attached to the line of scrimmage. He's not just in the slot. They're moving him around. So, but I think that's a good way to look at players, though, too, is you can see when someone moves different.
Yep.
You can see it.
Yep. Speaking of, which of these young wide receivers is moving different? That's my first thing about, like, what we can actually learn from training camp. It's hands camp. We all know that. Like, who has these hands? Who's smooth with their routes? Like, who you're not going to be able to look at someone and say, I know exactly what kind of season they're going to have. But when it comes to this wide receiver group, you've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I'm assuming that Torrey Horton or like Jake Bobo or, like, higher up in that competition, obviously, one being a veteran, one being a rookie 5th-round pick. But there's a lot of really intriguing names, and someone's going to be left out. So I think this wide receiver battle, beginning with that 4th spot and onward, kind of those last 2-3 spots, are really going to be fascinating. I don't know if we're looking at guys who can be great on special teams. Maybe we're looking at guys with just unreal athleticism, someone that fills in the gap with the rest of the receiver group. But I think it's fair, like one of the most telling position groups you can watch in camp is going to be wide receiver, and it's a really fascinating battle.
And they're the most fun to watch during this
Just
stuff.
honestly, they are.
I mean, they make the bigger plays. It's two-hand touch camp, so no one's going to get blown up.
They're the cool guys. We can say it.
They're
okay?
fast.
They're just cooler.
And they come in multiple sizes. You got the big Jake Bobo. You got the small
The
Steven
littles.
Sims. You got the in-between Jackson Smith and Jigba. No, they're fun. And it is going to be a battle because we know who the first 3 are going to be. You don't – I just actually got done watching film on Horton the other day. My man's run out to the catch is good. He's good with the shallows. Derek Young is a guy who's fighting for the spot. Steven Sims is a name that's popped up as of late. He was consistent during camp. Plumlee is a guy who played quarterback in college, made the transition to wideout. There's so many different type of receivers, and I think that's what makes the position interesting because from the 5'9s to the 6'4s, you got them.
So we can learn about the versatility and how they might use Elijah Arroyo. We can learn about some of these wide receivers and how they look and how the end of that battle shapes up. What else can we actually learn, actually take away in July and August?
You can take away the running back battle. It's going to be Ken Walker, right? You got also Zach Charbonnet. You didn't draft Martinez just to draft him. We're going to see what he can do. And Kenny McIntosh. Talk about how different the wideouts are. We can talk about how different these running backs are. What's going to be the approach with the running backs to start? Is it just K9 getting 80% of the snaps? Are you going to sprinkle in Charbonnet? I mentioned Kenny McIntosh being good when it comes to running routes. Kubiak likes using the running backs in the pass game. You get matchups. Where does Damian Martinez fit into this whole thing? I think he's a sleeper, a 7th-round pick who was pretty good at Oregon State and Miami. How is this going to be divided? Ken Walker should get the bulk of the carries because he is the guy, and Zach Charbonnet should be next. But how much is he going to get? I would prefer that it's not 50-50, but 60-40. Like, Zach Charbonnet deserves some carries, and Ken Walker hasn't been healthy over the past couple seasons, but he does have big playability. Is Kubiak walking into this situation and thinking, Ken Walker's our guy, we're going to run him until he can't run anymore, or is he going to let these other guys eat as well?
Okay, my last one is kind of just flip, and I'll be quick with it so we can get to the 2 things we won't learn. My last one is just kind of flipping and looking at the defensive version of, hey, we're going to find out how they might be using Elijah Arroyo. Well, I think we can find out how they might be using Nicky Minwari, and I think we can look at the different ways that he's being utilized. Sometimes you don't need to read into too much of it. Other times you're just looking to see how he looks, how his body looks, and maybe how much they're kind of testing him out at different spots, how excited they seem about his versatility. So I'll be obviously watching him as well. All right, let's get to in our kind of final minute here. Something we're just frankly not going to learn. We all got to hit the pause button.
You're not going to learn how good the offense is. They can look good. Alignment, assignment, execution can look good. You typically do against your own guys. I wish I was there for the joint practices because you have a better idea. But you're not going to know how good this offense is. It's more of just knowing if guys are doing the right things, getting to the right spots, and at least making the plays because it gets real once you play against other teams. You have an idea what they can look like and what they're trying to accomplish, but you're not going to know how good this offense is.
I'm going to say, coupling up with that, the offensive line. The single biggest question about this team was their single biggest problem last year. What's the offensive line going to look like? It's probably going to be one of the more common questions we see in general. All we're going to be able to find, and this is usually like later into camp, is the starter's second, third team. Like, that's all you're going to be able to see is like, okay, they're using this guy a lot with the ones, and we're already into the middle of August. Right. So this is going to be your starter. That's all we're going to learn. We're not going to have any clue how the group is actually going to perform together because you're just not really going to get tested that way in camp itself, and probably not even through the preseason. So yeah, I think it will be frustrating to have that as the biggest question we can't have answered, but it's just the reality of camp. All right, coming up next, college football insider Phil Steele.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the Whitaker. Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Rick Riz here, and it's the final month to submit your nomination for Pella Windows
and Doors, expertly installed by Washington Energy Services. Save today with one of our best deals of the year. Buy one energy-efficient window, get the second at 40% off. And BOGO 40% off all entry, patio, and interior doors right now. From traditional to modern home updates, and with over 65 years of award-winning installations, Washington Energy is the clear choice. Call today for a free estimate.
The future is here, so why is your internet stuck in the past? With Quantum Fiber Internet, you can get next-level multi-gig speed on a reliable fiber network. Fair and honest pricing with no annual contracts or bundling required. And whole home 360 Wi-Fi to make sure your devices are ready to take you where you want to go. So you can stream, post, game, surf, like, and love to your heart's content. You do you. Let Quantum Fiber Internet take care of the rest. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA Club World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Riverside Roofing has earned GAF Master Elite President's Club certification, which puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers nationally. They're right here out of Marysville. You can find them at riversideroofingllc.com, and they are the roofing company you can trust.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news earlier this morning, the Mariners and Julio Rodriguez have announced the center fielder will not be participating in this year's All-Star game. From a statement, quote, he will take the break to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half. The Mariners open a series against the Tigers today at 4:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot. Brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The 2025 Phil Steele College Football Preview Magazine is in stores now. You better go get a copy if you haven't already. The legend himself, Phil Steele, joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Phil, how's it going?
You know, I am doing great. How about you two today?
Fantastic.
Great.
Not the best Mariners game, but we're excited to talk about college football. It's beautiful in Seattle. It feels like it's right around the corner, which I can't believe. And we have a lot of questions about a couple Washington schools. I'm going to start with Washington. Phil, UW made a bowl game, obviously, despite upheaval from the year before. I'm a UW alum, so I'll let you know. I have an emotional investment in your answer. But what are fair expectations for Jed Fish's program in year two?
Well, a lot better than last year. I mean, what Coach Fish was thrown into last season was ridiculous. You, first of all, had a team that lost almost everybody from the previous year, and then they played the toughest schedule in the Big Ten, a very inexperienced squad. I thought he did a good job just getting them to a bowl game last year. And when you look at this year, they're in much better footing. Start off with the quarterback position. I think Damon Williams is a player to watch. I like what he did at the end of last year. He's bulked up to 197 pounds now. And he's going to be exciting. Getting Jonah Coleman to return down the NFL and have to return, big plus there. Denzel Boston, a receiver. And, you know, the offensive line goes from having nobody back like they did last year to having two starters back and adding in a couple of transfers. So they're going to be better on offense than they were last year. And defensively, they only had 3 returning starters last year. Now they've got 7. And I like the secondary as well. You know, Takario Davis is going to be one of the top cornerbacks in the country, as will Prysock. So the talent is there. Now, schedule still remains tough, but I think it's a more manageable schedule. They get Ohio State at home. I think that's going to be a fun game for Washington fans. I still feel Husky Stadium is one of the more underrated stadiums in the country. It's one of the loudest venues out there, and they'll be pumped up for that game. Michigan on the road, Wisconsin on the road, but I think Washington definitely has a much better year this year.
Yeah, Phil, I love Husky Stadium. I'm undefeated in that stadium, but I'll shift it over to the other team, the Wazoo. It's weird for us right now, Phil, as you know. I don't know what to expect. You got a young Jimmy Rogers who I've met, who I like, coming in for WSU. What do you think of the new Pac-12 and where it stands today?
Yeah, new Pac-12, new Washington State, huh? They got 70 new players on this year's team. I do like the fact that he brought in 16 South Dakota State transfers with him, because we've seen teams that bring in, I remember Cignetti last year brought in all those players from James Madison and did well at Indiana. I think bringing in South Dakota State players is a good thing. I like what I saw to Zevi Eckhouse in that bowl game. It surprised me a little bit. I was expecting him to be way down, and Eckhouse had a big bowl game. You look at the offensive line, they do look solid this year. And defensively, just a ton of transfers, a brand new team. Now, Jimmy Rogers had great success at South Dakota State. I think he's got a nice starting part to the season. Idaho at home, San Diego State at home, at North Texas. They get off to a roll. It may be something, not quite what they were last year, where they got to 8-1 and number 20 in the country, or number 19 in the country. But I think Washington State should be able to get back to a bowl game this year. The new Pac-12 is at least more manageable than the old Pac-12 was. I think they can go right to the top of that conference and be one of the kingpins in the conference early on.
I'm going to divert back to UW real quick. You mentioned Denzel Boston. I just want to focus on him a bit more. I have memories of so many great Washington wide receivers. Some of them are locally beloved. Others have gone on to the NFL. Obviously, Rome Odunze with Chicago now. Any chance Denzel Boston is like that next great Washington receiver?
Yeah, he's got NFL potential. There's no doubt. You're looking at a guy that's 6'4", 209. I like the speed, and he's a guy that has produced on the field as well. So, yeah, Boston is clearly on the NFL radar and could very well be one of those next great Washington receivers.
Deion Sanders at Big Ten Media Days said he would like a salary cap on college football. What are your thoughts on that, and how realistic is that at this point of this whole NIL deal?
I would like a salary cap on college football. I think that'd be good for college football overall. The problem is, how are you going to enforce it? Because, once you do come up with the salary cap, what the schools are allowed to pay, I should say, then you've got the NIL is going to be thrown in on top of it, and then it would probably become the rich get richer. So the key is going to be the enforcement, if they can come up with, because let's face it, Michael, the NCAA was powerless. Every time they tried to enforce something, got overturned by the courts, so they really had no power to do anything. They need to be able to enforce penalties if they're going to enforce a salary cap.
I'm going to, Phil, stick with kind of the theme of some changes in college football, this time focusing on the transfer portal. So that, we were kind of joking before we called you, like Phil knows everything. We could ask him about like a fourth string DB and he'd be able to tell us like exactly where he's from. And I was thinking, I wonder how Phil's job has changed with just the sheer number of transfer. Like, it's like all about these players, but have you noticed like that your job becomes weirder or harder just where these guys are going to different schools all the time?
Harder, much harder. You take a look at this year's transfer portals. There's two of them, right? And the second one closed at the end of April. So I didn't get to start talking to the coaches until May. I had to try to squeeze in all the head coaches in the month of May, and the calls take about an hour plus. And the thing I found this year, Stacy, is it was remarkable the amount of players that's signed, let's say true freshmen and/or transfers coming in the winter that left after spring practice was over. So now we're not even seeing these guys transfer in and play for a season. They're leaving already and going to other places. And, when talking to the head coaches, they were talking about the fact that, their players were getting poached during the course of the season. People were contacting them. They weren't in the transfer portal. They're playing games and players schools are contacting them. So it has made it a lot more difficult in that respect, trying to keep track of teams. I talked to Tim Beck as an example of Coastal Carolina. I'm like, well, Coach, last year when we talked, you had 68 new players, but now it's year 3. You're in a lot better shape. He's like, Phil, this year I got 69 new players. So there are teams that are just in turnover mode constantly, and that's why this year in the magazine, I actually went with a lot of teams that are doing less turnover, like Clemson, for example. They won the ACC last year. Very little use of the transfer portal, retained their players. Iowa State, Big 12 title game. Matt Campbell retains his players and brings in some transfer portal players. Army and Navy had bigger years than expected. Guess what? No transfer portal for them. So I think the teams that show continuity and cohesion actually have a little bit better chance in the upcoming year than do the ones that are turned over their roster. West Virginia and Oklahoma State, for example, each team has 30 new transfers coming in post-spring. They weren't even in there for spring practice. Talk to you for a second, Michael. How tough do you think that would be to build team chemistry?
Yeah, almost impossible. I mean, you can put some talent out there, but if these guys haven't been in the weight room and grinding during the offseason, it could be difficult. It's as you were describing what's going on, that's the first thing I was thinking is I couldn't imagine playing at WSU and meeting 30 guys for the first time in August and getting out there and trying to develop a squad. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. I got a question about the quarterbacks in the country. Last year, the draft, when it comes to the quarterbacks, was underwhelming, right? You had Cam, and then everyone else kind of fell under him. Paul Feinbaum, who has no SEC bias, says that Arch Manning is going to be the greatest quarterback he's seen in the last, 10 years. What's your scouting report on Manning?
Well, I think Manning has all the tools. He's got the pedigree. I like the fact that unlike a lot of quarterbacks in college football today, he didn't take his ball and go home after he didn't win the starting job. He was patient, learned the system, stayed in it. He's a dangerous runner. No doubt he can throw the deep ball. We've seen that. So I think he's got all the tools. But for Arch Manning to live up to the hype of Arch Manning, he'd probably have to hit like 85% and throw 69 touchdowns with 1 interception this year because the hype is so incredible. I do think he is one of the top quarterbacks in college football, but let's let him play an entire season before we anoint him like that.
I'm going to hop back to Wazoo for a little bit. This is going to sound a little repetitive because we did talk about Jimmy Rogers that first year and kind of that schedule, but just to hyper-focus on it, Phil, making the jump from FCS Power South Dakota State, Wazoo, we talked to him just a little bit, but we still have so many questions about that program and about what that transition's like. How do you expect his first year to go?
I think it's going to go better than expected. I like the fact that he brought in a lot of players with him from South Dakota State. I touched on the Indiana James Madison thing, sort of the same thing. James Madison was a lower level group of 5 team going to the Indiana, playing in the Big Ten. But those players knew the system, knew what they expected. And when they came in, the other players on the team, they learned from a guy that played at South Dakota State, like Frankel at the linebacker spot, one of the top linebackers from South Dakota State last year. He's able to tell the rest of the guys what's expected. And South Dakota State had such a great program. So I think he's going to do well in the adjustment process.
Is there a team you expect to kind of surprise folks? I mean, last year you can point at Boise State, I guess, because of Genty or whatnot. SMU made some noise, Arizona State as well. Is there a team you expect to kind of surprise some folks this year?
Yeah, and it's a team that was 6-7 last year. Didn't play very well. In fact, 6-7 was a pretty bad year for them, and that's Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma and Texas both came into the SEC last year from the Big 12. Texas played probably the easiest Big 12 schedule. Oklahoma played the hardest. So they only had 3 true SEC home games last year. They had 0 returning starters on the offensive line. They lost their top 5 receivers. Are receivers important to the game, Michael?
I would say so.
I would say the most important.
They lost their top 5 receivers due to injury at one point. So it's no wonder Jackson Arnold struggled. The offense struggled. But there was no problem with the defense. In fact, the defense last year held opponents to 76 yards per game, or 87 yards per game below their season average, number 6 in the country. Venables knows defense. He's got the weapons like R. Mason Thomas at defensive end and Daniels. So you have no doubt about Oklahoma's defense. The question was offense. Now they've got a veteran offensive line. And I'm going to bring up Clemson for a minute. 2 years ago, Clemson's receiving corps was banged up. They lost all their top guys to injury. They struggled on offense. Well, last year they got those injured players back, added in some transfers, and all of a sudden Cade Klubnik's throwing for 4,000 yards. Clemson's got a potent offense. That's going to happen with Oklahoma this year. They get those injured players back. They've added in some key pieces. They bring in John Mateer, who you guys are very familiar with from Washington State, and the Washington State offense. Now, with the veteran offensive line, the receiving corps, I think they have the offense. And going over the roster with Coach Venables, I think it's a playoff caliber roster. So if at the end of the year, Oklahoma is actually in the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. They're my number 1 surprise team in the country.
How do you feel, and I can't believe I'm asking this because they get so much attention, but about Bama? Because, Phil, last year we found ourselves questioning, all right, look, obviously we know Kalen DeBoer, a couple folks on that staff, so we're kind of keeping an eye on him. A ton of controversy over whether it was seeding, not making the college football playoff, things like that. And we couldn't tell, or at least I couldn't, whether there was, like, the roster maybe just wasn't as tight as people thought it was, or if it was rightfully, Kalen DeBoer on the hot seat. How do you see them this year? Maybe overall talent-wise, does it match up with the expectation?
I think you're going to see Alabama play like Alabama this year. We saw what Kalen DeBoer did his second year at Washington, took them to the national title game. And when you look at the talent, the overall talent Alabama has, first of all, they now have a year in the system. And you talk to any second-year head coach, and it's almost the same thing all around. We're night and day from last year. He stepped into a situation where a lot of players hit the portal, brand new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme, trying to learn all those things. Well, now it's the second year. They actually have number 7 running back core in the country, number 4 receiver core, number 9 offensive line, number 6 defensive line, number 10 linebackers, number 2 DBs. So they're top 10 throughout. The biggest question mark with Alabama is quarterback, and that's a pretty big question. But I think Ty Simpson's going to be better than expected, especially with the supporting cast that he has. DeBoer's in his second year, and when you look at their schedule, I have an underdog at Georgia, but I've got them favored in their other 11 games this year. So I think Alabama's a legitimate contender in the SEC, will make the playoff this year, and it'll be a much better year for Kalen DeBoer.
Has there been a surprise move? I remember a few years back when Travis Hunter goes to Jackson State, right? Number one player in the country makes a move like that. I would assume with the influence of NIL and dollars being thrown these guys' way that maybe there's a school that snatched a 5-star that, someone wasn't expecting for them to grab. Is there that type of story out there this year?
Boy, there's so many schools to keep track of here. Yes, I would think that there's got to be some different ones like that. Let me think about it. I was just talking about, it was an FCS school that actually snagged a PS number 5 guy from a couple of years ago. I'll get back to you on that one, Michael.
Fair question, though. Fair question. All right, the 2025 Phil Steele College Football Preview Magazine is in stores now. Go get your copy. If it's sold out at a store near you or you aren't near one, you can also order it online, philsteele.com. He is college football insider Phil Steele. Thanks so much, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Hey, a lot of fun talking football with you guys, as always. Appreciate you having me on.
Have a good one. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
It starts at the top. What's something Deion Sanders is doing that we see in corporate America?
First off, happy birthday, Renee Bumpus, my mother. July 11th. So when the world was blessed with you, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm not going to tell people how young you are. All right. First down, what's he doing? In corporate America, when someone is at the top, what do? They bring their boys with them. They're bringing with them. And the more I look at his staff, he says he wants Byron Leftwich and Zimmer to be on his staff. Last year, he had Warren Sapp and some other guys on his staff. He's doing what corporate America does, and some people don't like the way Deion is running the program over there, but I do. You get some guys that you trust. It happens all the time, but because Deion is doing it, people are making more of a fuss about it. Again, second day I'm talking about Deion, so he's doing something right. Yesterday, talking about the salary cap. Today, talking about hiring Byron Leftwich, a guy who I felt should have gotten a head coach job. He's been on the market a few times. He was part of that Super Bowl winning championship team with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's proven he is a good play caller, so hopefully he gets an opportunity. And I think Deion is one of those guys to kind of highlight him and maybe help him get that opportunity. But no, he's doing what most people do in football, but in corporate as well. You make it, you bring your boys with you. I like what Deion's doing.
Second down. What's a stat you saw that can help explain how different the offense should look under Clint Kubiak?
So last year, and I got this from Joe Marino. He got this from True Media Sports, at True Media Sports. And last year, Geno was the third or fourth most sacked quarterback. And teams were bringing pressure. But what Grubb didn't do, he stayed in 5-man protections, meaning no tight end attached, no running back going down to help. And they stayed in 5-man protection 74% of the time. That's the 9th most in the NFL. Buffalo Bills 1, Kansas City, Miami, New York. It's going to look different this year. You go all the way down to number 28. 65% of the time the New Orleans Saints had a 5-man protection, which means you're going to see more tight ends. You're going to see fullbacks blocking. He's going to do more to protect the quarterback. So that alone, just adding an extra body to the protection, is going to help Sam Darnold thrive, hopefully, in this offense. And it also shows the way that Grubb called plays was more similar to fit or would fit the college game a bit more, because you're just better on that offensive line. You can have 5 guys and throw your hot routes and all that good stuff. But with an NFL type of defense, they're going to stunt, they're going to blitz from depth, they're going to try to confuse you. So the article that I read said that Grubb didn't adjust. I doubt he just stayed in the same type of offense the whole year. But the numbers don't lie. He stayed in 5-man protection the majority of the time, to whereas with the Saints, Kubiak did a better job of protecting the quarterback. I'm not sure what their sack numbers were, but at least did a better job attempting to protect the quarterback. So plan to see a whole bunch of tight ends out there.
I'm glad that you mentioned. I read the article that you're talking about. I like the stat itself, which is very interesting. And you're right. People were not only would people complain about maybe not some extra protection there, but about like drop back passes, taking things out of shotgun and being like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't, for a really bad offensive line, like this is just going to continue to strain what you're doing. So there was a fair critique there with the actual stat. I read this morning and I turned to Curtis and said the same thing, where I was like, the take that this proves Ryan Grubb had no idea what he was doing was, I thought, a little dramatic.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dramatic take.
Yeah, the way they went in on Grubb was a bit much.
It was a bit much.
Yeah.
It was a very simplified reading of a fair critique is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you mentioned that because once you started reading it, I almost turned to Curtis to be like, this is what I was reading this morning. Yeah. Third down. What list has Darren Waller inspired you to make?
Low key, I rock with Darren Waller.
Yeah.
He's got a banger out right now. Not going front. And it's
better.
not.
He's growing.
Take your time to heal. He's past that. He's healed already.
First of all, that changed our lives.
It did change our lives.
As a show, we love that song.
But he's inspired me to make a list of the best athletes who rap because I think he's on his way. I think he's going to go platinum, and I'm going to buy his album when it drops. Flau'jae Johnson. If you don't know who Flau'jae Johnson is, she plays for LSU. There's a show me and my kids used to watch called The Rap Game, and it came out like 6 years ago. But, you find those series on Netflix, you start watching them. And she was on that when she was like 12 years old or something like that. And she was nice back then. She's even nicer now. Flau'jae Johnson plays for LSU. Dame Dollar, one of the best athlete rappers I've ever heard in my life. Like, Dame Dollar got bars for sure. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is a boxer. Right now, he's not in depth. He's not like a lyrical genius. It's more just passion and vibes behind that. Shaq, you got to give Shaq some props just because he was so popular. People bought his albums. I want to say it went gold or something like that. Shaq was crazy. And then LeAngelo Ball, low-key, got a banger
I thought you
out.
put Darren Waller at number 1. I was waiting.
Well, there's no ranking. There's no ranking.
Okay.
I'm not ranking him. But LeAngelo Ball got a banger out too. But Darren Waller, man, I don't know what the song is called.
Yeah.
But look it up. I'm feeling it.
I wonder what the list of worst would be.
Unfortunately, Kobe.
K-O-B-E.
Kobe.
He had a song with Tyra Banks, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, like why?
She's beautiful.
Ball player and a model.
Yeah.
And,
First of all, she's an actress model.
Actress model, excuse me.
We've all seen Life Size. It's amazing.
Oh, man, there's another one who was bad, too, as well. I can't think of it when it comes to me. I'll let you know. But
Allen Iverson,
was all right.
He was cussing so much that the NBA, nixed his album.
The
It's a lot of swear
NBA
words.
nixed his album and changed the dress code because of Allen Iverson.
I was just thinking more Tyra Banks movies. Fourth down. We were just joined by college football insider Phil Steele. Anything stand out from our conversation with Phil?
Yeah, he feels that Alabama is going to be back to Alabama, and I want that because personally I like Grubb and personally I like DeBoer. Yeah, I don't care that they, coach the purple guys over there. Love is love, and I really like those two, and I hope they do get it going over there because Bama has a standard. And DeBoer went in there and followed arguably the greatest college coach of all time, and that's a lot of pressure. And they still won 9 games, and it wasn't enough for the Bama fans over there. And also UW. I almost forgot that Jed Fish was the coach over there at UW. Like talking to Phil and him reminding me, I'm like, all right. And also I looked at the collective. UW is like 23rd in the country when it comes to paying their players. So they're already starting to do more than when DeBoer was there. And when it comes to paying their players. And then the fact that he thinks that my Cougs are going to be bowl eligible makes me smile because it's been a tough year for us. So we need that.
Well, listen, if I were to ask you guys who's the best pure scorer ever, all time in NBA history, you're probably not going to say the name we're mentioning next, but he thinks he was. Don't go anywhere.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the way to Cal, swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars
Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
The Everett 3-on-3 basketball tournament presented by Boeing is here. If you've registered, head to the tournament July 12th and 13th. Not a player? Not a problem. Grab popcorn and a seat at Boeing Center Court. Watch and participate in the Tulalip Resort Casino Slam Dunk Contest, Snohomish County Sports Commission 3-point shot contest, and Everett Downtown Storage Skills Challenge. There's something for everyone at the 3-on-3 in downtown Everett. See you this weekend.
It's the Graz here for my friends at Premier Golf. Take advantage of early sunrise and late sunset at the 11 different Premier courses today. From Bellingham, Everett, and Marysville to Linwood, Bellevue, and Seattle, even out on the coast, they've got a course near you. Play Inner Bay or Jackson, Bill Wright or West Seattle, Bellevue, Legion Memorial, Walter Hall, Linwood, Cedar Crest, Lake Patton, and even Ocean Shores. Courses are in great shape and ready for your next round. Visit PremierGolfCenters.com, that's PremierGolfCenters.com, and book your tee time today.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at EmeraldQueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Brought to you by Integrated Rehabilitation Group.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, reading you the top stories you're going to see and hear about on your own timelines. This one's probably floating around yours. Old head NBA players say some wild stuff. We all know that. FS1's Paul Pierce took the cake this week when asked about the best pure scorers in league history.
I was probably the best pure scorer ever in the history of the game because I was pretty equipped. When I think about it, I'm just saying, like,
Could you pull up from the elbow?
I need to be in this conversation.
Could you pull up from the elbow?
I got all that.
Could you knock down the three?
All that.
Could you back him down?
Contest champ.
Could you turn around?
All of that. Post up.
Could you dunk?
All of that. I was shoot, and I must have been one of the most equipped.
I love that. I love that for him. I love that for his journey. Is he right?
Look, Paul Pierce wasn't no punk.
No.
He can pull up from the elbow. He'll back you down. He'll shoot the three. He had handles. He wasn't very explosive. He was a crafty dude because he didn't have that twitch. But my man, Kevin Durant is, in my opinion, the best scorer of all time. Kevin Durant can score from anywhere. Him and Carmelo Anthony. You're talking about pure scorers, and they're dang near 7 feet tall. Better scorer than Jordan, better scorers than Kobe. I'll take Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony all day because of what they had in their bag, and they had that little twitch. Carmelo, not as much twitch. We had twitch with his handle and pull up from anywhere. Paul Pierce, I hated you as a Celtic, but I appreciated your game. You tripping right now. You're tripping. But one of the top 15 pure scores in the game, probably.
Sure.
But the best, that's KD all day.
No, but I love the mindset that I promise you, if you were to ask any of those top 10, 15 guys who's the best pure scorer in the league, most of them are going to say, well, I guess if it wasn't me, then I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. And they're supposed to think like that.
Okay, is there anyone that most people, where they asked who's the best pure scorer in the league, would not even mention that you think, like, throw him in the conversation? I like Carmelo. Like, I like that point because I think a lot of people would go with, like, okay, who's scored the most?
Yeah,
right?
it's not about scoring the most.
All-timers.
Yeah, no, it's not about scoring the most. It's like the way that you score. I would also throw in there, I'm looking at a list right now.
Yeah.
I would throw, right now, Luka is a pure scorer. He can do it all as well. Just lose about 10, 15 pounds, baby. Come on, we need you.
James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden.
I mean, people don't like his game. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, good entry for, like, most people wouldn't give this answer.
James Harden is a guy that I used to yell, you're ruining the game, because that step back. Like, he created the double step back that looks like a travel to me right now. James Harden, is your fault. All these kids are doing that double step back, and it is killing me. Iverson was a pure scorer as well. To be 6 foot and to do all the things that he did, yeah, throw Iverson in there.
All right. Well, if you're looking for a place to stay in the Chicago area, I've got great news for you, especially if you're an NBA fan. You can now rent Michael Jordan's former Highland Park, Illinois mansion on Airbnb. The house is over 32,000 square feet and has 7 bedrooms and 17 and a half bathrooms, a kind of combination ratio that I've never quite understood.
Me either.
I get that in theory you want as many or more bathrooms than you do bedrooms. Of course, you got to have, in a mansion, you need multiple guest bathrooms. 17 and a half bathrooms.
I like that there's a half bathroom and
there's
thrown in there.
Minimum 3 bathrooms in that mansion that have never been used.
Yeah. I would say minimum 8 or 9.
Yeah. Well, like you might 1 or 2. It might be like on one, maybe you were walking to the pool or the hot tub. I got to stop here really quick. I never use this bathroom. I'm talking like the toilet has not been flushed. The door has not been opened. You frankly forgot it was there.
Well,
that kind of bathroom.
You got to think. Each bedroom has a bathroom, so that's 7. The kitchen needs one nearby. The living room needs one nearby.
8 more bathrooms after that.
Backyard needs one. He probably has an outhouse over there in the guest room. And then the other ones I can't account for.
They're just going to be in the hallways randomly. Maybe there's a bathroom coming off the garage. I think that this is an architectural failure. Like, this is...
Well, this house has been on the market for a long time, or at least was on the market for a long time. There was like a Zillow listing for it for a number of years. I think it did finally sell. It's got some pretty ridiculous amenities. Obviously, a full-size basketball court, a putting green, both things that Michael Jordan loves. Sure. A cigar room. How many cigars do you think Michael Jordan has smoked in that cigar room?
Countless.
1 million?
Countless.
I've never seen him without one off the court. Tennis court, infinity pool. It's got everything.
I'm on the Airbnb. The bathrooms. Now, first of all, I don't like this house.
It's gaudy.
It's a mansion. It's gaudy, though. It's very like a 2002 kind of vibe. Like what would be futuristic in 2002 is what this house looks like. That's the best way I can describe it. I would describe it as akin to the Millennium Seahawks jersey, that vibe. There are bathrooms. They don't even have a picture of every bathroom. There's too many bathrooms. They have a picture of 5 bathrooms, and it's a fraction of the bathrooms.
Part of the requirements.
This is gonna stick with me all day.
Part of the requirements is a minimum 7-night stay, and you can't have more than 12 guests with you, and you have to pay. Get this, a $25,000 security deposit.
Goodness gracious!
You're spending a ton of money to spend a week at Michael Jordan's.
This is in
house.
Chicago.
Yeah.
A suburb of Chicago.
What's around there? There better be like
what is Chicago?
I'm saying close to the actual spot. There must be a golf course around somewhere because
sure.
12 guys.
I'll
this
tell
has
you
to be
what's
the
around
greatest golf trip of all time.
So there is a forest preserve, an off-leash dog area, a nature preserve. There is 3 choices of Mexican restaurants.
Hey.
And yes, a country club. There's a golf course that I can't tell distance, but it looks like down the highway, not very far, is a Exmoor Country Club.
Okay.
So there's a golf course.
All right. Still a lot of money. $25,000 deposit.
You could absolutely take a golf cart to the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how comfortable a walk it would be, but so sure.
It's what attracts people to that. What is it? Just I have money. Jordan used to live there.
It's rich people who are fans of. It's exactly what it is. It's like
there will be a Michael Jordan super fan that
happens to have
there.
tons of money. Yeah. What's that? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, Chargers' new running back Najee Harris injured his eye on a July 4th fireworks incident in Antioch, California. The mishap reportedly resulted in injuries to several other attendees, including one person who lost fingers. His agent, Doug Hendrickson, called the injury superficial, though, so that's good news for Harris. He should be ready for the upcoming season.
Fireworks are dangerous.
Listen.
I had 2 different friends show me pictures of people who blew their hands off at the parties they were at this past 4th of July. Yeah, and it's mangled. And my first question is always, why were they holding it? Light it and run. And it's always because of the grown-up juice was involved, and they're not thinking straight.
It's crazy how, without fail, every single year.
Oh, there's always a story like this.
They know that there's going to be, and it's like, you see these stories over and over, and you think, surely that won't happen to me. But I know what I'm doing here. Give me the lighter.
Nah.
I think I read it's been 10 years since Jason Pierre-Paul lost a couple of fingers on his hand. And wasn't
someone
it
violated HIPAA?
I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, there was an NHL player who died in a firework incident on 4th of July weekend.
I'm not going to condone anything. It's everyone's making their adult choices. I personally don't get the appeal. I'm a terrified person of all things. And every time I see these stories, I'm like, man, that doesn't even sound fun. But thank goodness everyone is okay overall.
There's a safe way to do it. The way my family does it is probably the safest situation. We get this big old, what do you call it, a trailer with 2.5-foot walls on the side. All the fireworks are lit up in there. They're anchored by bricks.
Mm-hmm.
Use the long lighter so you're not putting your hand towards it, and you light it and you run. You get out of there. Do not pick it up. And if it doesn't ignite, we're chilling for 5 minutes and waiting.
We're not
waiting
going
for that
close.
thing. No.
You know what I was thinking about actually too? When you have fireworks shows, obviously there's a giant truck that has to transport all those fireworks. I was driving behind a truck. I don't know if they were transporting fireworks, but they looked like one that had to, when I was younger, they used to have fireworks at the park, and it looked just like that truck. And I was thinking, if you're the driver, are you a tiny, tiny, tiny bit scared? Are you a tiny bit nervous of if in any way there is a flame at all, that entire thing is exploding like dynamite? You're gone.
Yeah.
Isn't that scary to think about? I was driving behind this truck just thinking man, that whole thing would explode.
The trucks that transport hazardous fluids and stuff, those are the ones that scare me.
Someone said, Bump over here with his shower bench trying to justify those 147 bathrooms.
Trying to make it make sense.
Time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Colin Snyder with that right flexor strain made a pair of scoreless rehab appearances with Tacoma this week. He's been on the IL since June 4th. Coming up next, Julio announced today he'll take the All-Star break off. Was it the right choice? Don't go anywhere.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big dumper.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, and our guest, Dr. Andrew Gomez, sports medicine physician at Providence in Everett.
Dr. Gomez, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well. Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
Tell us about AC joint separations in the shoulder.
So the AC joint, it's the small joint at the top of the shoulder. It's where the clavicle or the collarbone meets a bony prominence of the scapula called the acromion, and it's got a number of ligaments that stabilize it. And in terms of the separations, there's a number of different flavors of it. There's grades 1 through 6, and typically what's most common is a grade 1, 2, and 3. Grades 1s and 2s are typically managed conservatively. Grade 3, it's controversial. Some of them go to the orthopedic surgeon. Some of them can be managed conservatively. Grades higher than that, 4, 5, and 6, it's really characterized by the displacement of the clavicle in terms of the displaced posteriorly. Is it displaced inferiorly, or does it go up? And essentially, it's a sprain. It's a ligamentous injury, and most of them, like I said earlier, grades 1s and 2s, always managed conservatively. Typically, we'll put an athlete or a patient in a sling for 3 to 5 days, typically for comfort. And after that, it's early range of motion. And typically, we can see athletes get full range of motion within about 6 weeks and complete function of the shoulder by about 12 weeks post-injury.
Perfect. So typically it's a conservative treatment. It's biology. It takes time, but usually about somewhere between, you're talking 8 to 10, 12 weeks, players return to function.
Correct. Absolutely.
Excellent. If you want more information on sports injuries, you can contact Dr. Gomez at providence.org. That's providence.org.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
This summer, the perfect night out is under the stars at LeMay, America's Car Museum drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films and make memories. Catch the Transformers on July 27th. Space is limited. Reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
Riverside Roofing has earned GAF Master Elite President's Club certification, which puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers nationally. They're right here out of Marysville. You can find them at riversideroofingllc.com, and they are the roofing company you can trust.
Hi, my name is Jordan Gage, head of school at King Schools. Is tuition cost the #1 thing keeping you from making the leap into Christian education? Did you know that King Schools awards over $2.3 million in tuition assistance every year? 25% of the families that make up this incredible Kings community utilize our variable tuition program to make Kings more accessible. The team at Kings would love to have you on campus for a tour and consultation to see how to make it possible for your family to experience the difference in Christian education at Kings.
Mention this ad and no application fee. Go to joinkings.org for more info.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is Holly Robinson Pete for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diet, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Some news.
We got some new music coming in, huh? Meet me in the middle. I'm losing my mind just a little. All right. Hey, that caught me off guard. I'm used to hearing the same stuff when we come back to the show. That one got me.
Now we know what to play for Bump regularly. Julio announced today he'll take the All-Star break off to rest up for the season's second half. A post from Julio, quote, "I'm incredibly honored that my peers voted me into the All-Star game. That means a lot to me. As much as I'd love to be out there, I want to take this time to take care of my body and fully prepare for the second half of the season. It's definitely tough to miss out on the All-Star experience, but I'll be cheering on all the guys and wishing them and their families an amazing week." And then signed off 44. I feel like, Bump, this has overwhelmingly been received very positively.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes it feels like, man, Julio can't do anything right. People are going to be mad no matter what. And on the one hand, he's underperforming. On the other, it's kind of like it's a lose-lose for him no matter what he does. But I feel like people overwhelmingly have been like, good for you, Julio. This is probably what I would do too.
This may not make sense in this situation, but it does at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Touch grass, bro. Just touch grass. You
like
know?
for people in, for him.
Yeah, just go relax. Watch whatever you got to do. Like, because imagine the stress that he is under. You got Bump and Stacy talking about him every day.
We're defending him.
Brock and Salk, Wyman and Bob, everyone in the media, locally at least, we talk about what he's not doing. He's underperforming. He feels it. He wants to perform. You go to the All-Star game. You got all these obligations. This is no longer rookie Julio who did almost everything everyone asked of him. Right? I think initially, once you get in the league, you're excited about those things. You do them willingly. But then your priorities change a bit, and you want to focus on your mental and physical health, and this team needs him to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm completely fine with this. Go do whatever it is you want to do and just relax.
Very real question. I'll survey all of us here to see how we're feeling about it. Do we think, this is what came to mind for me, do we think that this is Julio taking a foul ball right off the shin the other day and definitely needing some days off because he's in pain and just maybe doesn't want to, put stress on it? Or is this Julio either himself or with whatever advisors being like, maybe it would be better for me to not do this?
All the above. It's all of that.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe like 30 to 35% taking the ball off the shin.
I was going to say, I guess I'm asking, is this a physical or a mental, emotional decision?
All of it. All of it. You have an opportunity to get healthy. You have an opportunity to turn your mind off for a little bit and get back. Maybe he lost a little bit of joy this stretch, And Julio does a good job of going out there with a smile and playing hard and doing all the good stuff, but it wears on you. I've never played more than 14 games in a season. I can imagine playing 162 of them things, man. And I've never been, only in college was I like one of the center points of a team where if you don't play well, then the team doesn't play well. He's had all that. He's had that stress, and he's been banged up. And I think this is good for him. Go hang out with your family, your girl, your boys, whoever, man. I think this is a mature decision because obviously you want to be a part of some of these things because you like being recognized. You have an ego. All athletes have egos. You love to be recognized and appreciated for what you do. But this is a very mature decision for a 24-year-old.
Someone said after the All-Star break, if he still underperforms, does it become a different look? I don't think so. I mean, unless you're like asked out here him partying or whatever. No, I don't think so. If someone takes time off to try to get their mind right and then they don't hit the ground running, okay. Nelson said it's 100% Julio being embarrassed he's on the team because he knows he doesn't deserve it. He didn't deserve to be in. He's embarrassed. I don't think it's that, and I don't think it should be. That's just me. I disagree with you. 206 also says it's a humility decision. I guess that's different than being embarrassed. 206 says it's a humility decision, and I'm all here for it. Some humility, maybe. I don't think Julio's embarrassed and is doing the, you're right, I shouldn't be there, I'll duck out. I don't think that's what this is. I think Julio is, I think he doesn't care, Nelson, if you think he should be embarrassed. I think that he is aware that his season isn't what he wants it to be.
Yeah. I don't think he's embarrassed. And you get, and with these things here too, Julio got voted in because the players respected him, right? And that is the greatest form of flattery ever. Your peers are saying, look, we love you. We know what you're capable of. We're going to vote you in. I don't think he's embarrassed at all. Did he chuckle? He probably laughed a little bit like, oh, dang, I got in. Like, you know, it wasn't like he was a shoo and he knew that he was going to be that guy. No, I'm sure he laughed a little bit. And his real friends are poking at him just a little bit. Like, I can't believe you got in. You really got in.
They're not doing it from a place of malice. And I'm going to be so for real. I feel like sometimes when I hear it, it's from a place of malice. And I think that's a little weird. I'm going to be honest. I think it's some misplaced frustration. I think it's fair to be frustrated that, like, Julio, in theory, the most talented player on your roster, isn't playing like it. Especially when your front office has hedged their bets and their future on him looking like an MVP and builds their roster, or doesn't, on him looking like an MVP. Yeah, that's fair to be frustrated. Making it personal when Julio, by all outward accounts, is like a very nice, normal, fine person who's trying, is when it gets a little weird. Am I reading too much into it? I don't know. I don't think we need to. It feels like there was anger over Julio being picked when he truly did not throw his hat in the ring. Like, I don't know what you want him to do. He was nominated by other people.
It's funny
it's
how
not like he campaigned to be in the All-Star game.
It's funny how there was anger over Julio getting picked when Mariners fans historically we've always kind of had the conversation of like, okay, who's going to be our representative? Who's going to be our one representative?
What would make you happy?
Right. Was it him not making the team at all?
I can't.
It wasn't the fans that got him in. It was the players that got him in. It was a player vote.
Exactly what Bump said. His peers voted him in. He probably did laugh a little bit, though was also honored. In his message, thank you so much, you guys. This means a lot. I'm going to duck out. It's not wrong for if him and his teammates did say, whoa, hey, that's cool, I guess. But like to have a vitriolic or angry sentiment about it, I think is a little excessive.
Yeah, it is.
I also think he's making the right choice and not doing it.
Yeah. You do what's best for you. That's what it comes down to. And I don't think he's embarrassed. No. He knows he's a baller.
I do think someone said Julio needs to take himself out from batting second.
Take himself out from batting second?
I do think that he'd benefit from being placed lower in the lineup, though.
He might, but the team is going to do what they think is best for the team.
I think it's best for the team that he not be batting second.
Yeah, they don't think that.
I know, but I want to know why. And I get it in theory. There was a while where he and Cal were tied for hits on the team, and so he was just getting a ton of singles, and you could kind of see the reason because you were like, well, outside of Cal Raleigh, he has more hits than anyone else. That's why he's batting second. But that's not necessarily been consistently the case. And teams are pitching Cal differently, and you don't want a world where the most possible runs that Cal can score is one.
Yeah. So. It makes sense. Text Dan.
Not score, but
text Dan.
Know what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, my friend
text
Dan.
Yeah, text Dan. you guys made eye contact once.
Dan, it's me. Yay! All right, we're going to take a look around the NFL. Coming up at 12:30, a surprising name being a big voice against an 18-game schedule. Before we get to that, previewing this upcoming series against the Tigers with Apple TV's Tricia Whitaker.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This summer, Pier 62 is your place to move, breathe, and feel alive. Friends of Waterfront Park invites you to free weekly fitness on the waterfront. Stretch out with yoga every Wednesday evening. Unwind with sound baths right after. Then turn up the energy Sundays with high-vibe Zumba classes by We Move to Give. All bodies welcome and totally free. Just register online and enjoy Seattle's waterfront like never before. Details and registration at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it, too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
The countdown is on.
12 days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news earlier this morning, the Mariners and Julio Rodriguez have announced the center fielder will not be participating in this year's All-Star game. From a statement, quote, he will take the break to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half. The Mariners open a series against the Tigers today at 4:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
TV's Tricia Whitaker joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You've got Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, 7:10 p.m. first start. It's Seattle Mariners against the Detroit Tigers. And Tricia, even though we have so much to talk about with Seattle, and we obviously brought you on to talk about our Mariners here, we've been having some conversations this week about what contenders look like. With a series against the Yankees, now a series against the Tigers, it's just kind of top of mind. So I'm actually going to ask you about the Tigers a little bit because you know more than we do. Tell us a bit about their season and maybe just especially what they've done well.
Yeah, I think the Tigers, obviously they have the best record in the majors this season. They've just consistently found ways to win. And there's not a lot of weaknesses on this team, right? We remember that surge at the end of last season for the Tigers. They were dead in the water to start the year for the first half of the year. Then the second half, they pulled off one of the most improbable runs in recent memory in 2024. They clinched that playoff spot after having less than 1% chance in mid-August to make the postseason, and they did. So it's been really cool to watch them prove to everybody that it's not just a fluke. They've been all around good this season. They rank among the top 5 in runs per game and team ERA. And the offense, you know, it's been led by Riley Green. He's one of the best bats in the AL. But the thing is, it's not just Green that does things for the Tigers at the plate. They've had so many players have bounce back seasons. You know, you think about Javi Baez, you think about Spencer Torkelson, and what they've done. So this Tigers team has really shown us that last year was not just a fluke at the end of the season, and they've got what it takes.
Hey, were there any key additions during the offseason that kind of helped them run it back and improve what they did last year, or was it pretty much just running it back with the same guys and getting the chemistry flowing?
I think it was just running it back with the same guys and the chemistry flowing. You know, I mentioned those couple guys at the plate who had bounce-back seasons, Spencer Torkelson and Javi Baez. Obviously, you look at Skubal, right? He's the reigning Cy Young winner, and this year having yet another incredible season. So I think it's just a rollover of what happened last August and carrying over with what that momentum that they were able to gain last year. And I think A.J. Hinch has done such a good job with that clubhouse too. So, and the thing about it is the Tigers have also dealt with their fair share of injuries to their pitching staff. And that would leave most teams in a dead spot, right? But they maximize their resources And they've kind of coined that strategy, and they call it pitching chaos, right? A lot of the guys in the bullpen, they have no idea when or how they're going to be used, but they find a way to get it done. So I think it's just been a combination of all those things.
Tricia, this won't surprise you, but Cal Raleigh might be the most popular player that's been here in Seattle since, Russell Wilson's rookie season. It really is crazy how almost every single person that we have either texting in or that we'll talk to just wants to talk about Cal Raleigh. He's an absolute fan favorite. I'm curious because he was already a fan favorite here, especially obviously that home run to send them to the playoffs. But obviously there are many baseball fans this year that are new to Cal Raleigh. You're a national voice. You speak to a lot of national voices. I'm curious about what the conversation around Cal is like for you guys.
I think it's just an all-around positive conversation nationally, I would say, right? We talk a lot about how he's already matched Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs by a Mariner before the All-Star break this season. And when you put him in a category with a guy like Ken Griffey Jr., it makes everybody in the country kind of look up and be like, what the heck is this guy doing, right? And then I believe he has a chance to beat Barry Bonds' record of 39 that he hit before the 2001 All-Star game. Which is insane as well. So, at MLB Network and Apple TV, we talk a lot about those types of things. But when you do look at what he's done for Seattle, like you mentioned, one of the most popular athletes there since, Russell Wilson, that's quite the accomplishment. But the thing is, even though he's kind of on pace to take care of some of those records, he's doing it while he is just an elite presence, behind the plate. And that's impressive to me. And I think, it's, you talk, another conversation going on nationally is the battle for the AL MVP, right? You talk about Aaron Judge, and then a lot of people put Raleigh in that conversation too. So that'll be a fun storyline to watch as the season progresses. But I'm excited to watch him in the All-Star game specifically, and I believe I'm going to be interviewing him tomorrow for Apple. And I can't wait to talk to him a little bit about what he's going to be doing at the All-Star game. His dad's going to be there on the field with him. His younger brother's going to be there on the field with him. So I'm just excited to hear about that because those are the stories you love to hear, right? Yeah. When he's having an incredible season, and then in the All-Star game, he gets to incorporate his family. I love that. That's what it's all about.
Cal's been getting a lot of the love as he should, but I know that during production meetings, you guys try to find other things to talk about, other players, the matchup. What's something that stands out to you other than Cal about the Mariners and maybe this matchup with the Tigers?
Yeah, I think, when you look at one thing we've talked about is what the Mariners are going to do at the deadline, right? With their rotation finally back to full health with the returns of a couple key guys, you wonder, are they going to go after that bat at the deadline? And I think they should, right? Because I think of it this way. The season Cal Raleigh is having, you don't want to waste that, right? So going after a bat, I think, would be a good thing for them to do at the deadline. But one of the other things we also talked about with the Mariners is how that city is just pining for postseason success, right? And is this the team to do it? That we don't know. But the Mariners are one of 5 teams with obviously no World Series titles. They've made it to the ALCS 3 times, but they have the longest active pennant drought in Major League Baseball, and they haven't won their division in 23 seasons. But here's the thing. You look at this season by Cal Raleigh, and you think
that's a storyline for you guys. And Tricia, I'll be honest, it's a storyline here in Seattle. It's what people care passionately about. It's a very personal conversation about the playoffs that people have here. I mean, just to make it not about myself, but for context, I'm in my 30s, and the last time this team was outside of that 2022 visit in the playoffs or won the division, I was just starting 7th grade. So it's our producer was, what were you in 5th grade? He's married with 2 kids. So it's I don't know that
I'm
many
old now,
he's washed. I don't know that many people outside of Seattle could always understand not only have they not been to a World Series, but you're talking whole generations of people that went through, elementary school, into college, get married, have kids, and they haven't experienced it. And so my long drawn out way to get to the question is, I think that the lack of experience has impacted the way that people understand what a playoff team is,
especially since the last great team to win a division just had, it was absolutely amazing, 116 wins. So I think people look at this year's team and they go, well, it's so incomplete. So I wanted to lean into your knowledge of maybe some other AL contenders, because my understanding, Tricia, I'm curious what you think, is that, well, a lot of teams are incomplete. The point is that you try to plug some holes and go, but like this is by no means an American League with just a bunch of clear-cut contenders and then the Mariners have no chance.
No, you're exactly right. And you look at the standings right now, and the Mariners are only, 6.5 games back of the Astros?
Yeah.
This is a long season. I mean, we know that. I hate to say that because it's so cliche, but it's true, right? And we were just talking about the Tigers and what they did last August. Who's to say that the Mariners cannot do that as well this August? And you know, yes, you are right. Some people look at them and they say, all right, they're a little bit incomplete. That's why we talk about the trade deadline. What are you going to do at the trade deadline to make it so that this team is not as incomplete, and maybe you can make a run at this? But you're right. Also, every single team has those holes. Every single team is going to experience injuries in the second half that could be devastating, you know, to their lineup or to their rotation or to their bullpen, whatever it is. So you look at the AL West, it's still wide open for the Mariners. I mean, I hate it when people are like, no, they're too far back in the standings. Not just the Mariners, but really any team. It's like, have you paid attention to any baseball the last, 5 decades? It matters when you get hot. And the time you want to get hot is in August or September. So if the Mariners can get hot in August and September, they can make a run at the division. They 100% can. And I think that's the exciting part about baseball is, like, you know, in the NBA, you're halfway through the season, and if you really are down in the standings, well, probably don't have a good chance, right? Or in the NFL, you start the season 0-4. Good luck. Best of luck to you. But in baseball, you could be 10 games back right now, and you could still make a run at it. So that's what I would say when I look at, do the Mariners have some holes? Do they look a little bit incomplete? It's all nonsense. It's BS, right? I mean, you ask Randy Arozarena, right? Randy Arozarena played for the Rays, and I covered him for, 3 years with the Rays. There were some seasons with the Rays where I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is going to be the year they finally don't make the playoffs in the last 6 seasons. Guess what? They did, right? They found a way to get it done. They got hot a run for the Rays to the World Series. Man, they were super hot, right? At the beginning of the season, you might have said, they've got some holes. Doesn't matter. It matters when you get hot, and I think this Mariners team does.
Oh, it was a perfect cut. I'm getting so fired up.
Did my rant get cut off?
It did, but it was right at the end of a sentence, so it worked.
Oh, good. What was my last word? I'm curious.
You were just still talking about, like, if you can get hot, and you talked about, your last word was Mariners, so it ended up working out just fine. But
there we go.
Yeah, I really appreciated the sentiment about, like, look, I know that Houston sometimes feels unstoppable, but, like, you really never know when your team can kick it into high gear.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And that's what baseball is all about, especially in the second half of the season, right? And the Mariners are playing good baseball right now. I mean, it's, you know, you got to look at the season as a whole and also realize that if they do get hot at the right time, this could end up being a special season for them.
And for them to get hot, you need 44 to kind of get hot as well. Obviously, Cal's been leading the charge. Randy has had his moments as well. And Julio's been playing better than I think what people appreciate here in the Northwest. And getting that all-star nod, some people were surprised that he got it. But what does that mean to you that Julio, in a down season for the people here in the Northwest, still got that all-star bid? And do you feel like he's close to really having that explosion we're used to seeing in the summer?
It's good for the game, right? I don't really like it when people talk in all-star phrases where they're like, did he really deserve? Is it good for the game? Yeah, it's good for the game for Julio Rodriguez to be there, right? And, you know, I know you can talk about the ups and downs, right, maybe for him this season or of his career, but he's good for the game. So I think that was really good for everybody to see. An all-star for what, the third time in his 4 seasons? Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, you look at guys like him and Bobby Witt Jr., and those are kind of some of the young guys in the game that you're like, okay, yes, we want them in the All-Star game every single year. That's the future generation of baseball, right? So I love to see it. I'm excited to see him because he's just a good energy. So
he is really likable guy. She is Tricia Whitaker of Apple TV. Tricia, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Tricia.
Anytime, you guys.
Have a good one. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, biggest story of the day. Julio announcing he will not participate in next week's All-Star game. He will be taking the time off to rest and recuperate for the season's second half. What's the real headline?
Julio makes the right decision. I think that's what this headline would be if you saw it plastered on a newspaper in the very simplest, no joke intended kind of way. I think that the vast majority of fans I've seen have different theories as to why Julio's doing it. I don't know that I've seen anyone say, oh my God, how dare he? What's he doing?
No, man, Julio, you do what's best for you in this situation. If Julio were balling, playing like a true all-star, he might be in this game. But something is off. Something ain't right. And that's okay for him to step back and take some time, be with his family, work on the swing. Whatever it is that you want to do, you go ahead and do it. You're not obligated to do this. It's an honor that your peers got you in this game. And I have no problem with that.
Tell me if you agree with this take. It's from Luke Arkins, who obviously tweeted this following Julio's announcement that he wouldn't be participating in the All-Star game. Luke said, can't recall a fan base opposing the All-Star selection of one of its players as much as some Mariners fans have rallied against Julio Rodriguez. I suspect the strongest opposition is being spewed more about built-in biases, whatever they are, than Julio's on-field performance.
Sure. I mean, is this even would this be a big deal if he were playing like at a really high level? If he were playing at a high level and taking it off, no.
Yeah, no, you'd be excited.
But because he hasn't been playing at the level we expected or we even thought an all-star level, people are attaching a bunch of assumptions to this. And granted, we are too. That's our job to assume and speculate and do all that good stuff.
It is.
But yeah, I'm fine with the decision. I hope he comes back just a brand new man.
Me too.
And sometimes that's what it takes. Like sometimes, my son plays soccer, and every now and then we have him take a week off. Like you're overworked, you're drained, and then he comes back and he's rejuvenated. Same thing with my daughter for basketball. My other son with basketball. Sometimes some time away from the game just gets you right.
I think three things are true about Julio. Number one, scouts, prospects, front offices were perfectly fair in thinking he'd be an incredible talent at the MLB level, at MLB's level. Most people around baseball looked at this guy and they were like, wow, he's got the tools. He can get this done. Size, speed, power. This is amazing. It's not like there was someone out there going, I don't think so, guys. I don't know if I agree. Like, it was unanimously, people thought he'd be wonderful, and they weren't wrong for that. Two, people aren't wrong right now in being disappointed that Julio isn't really meeting the mark. You have all these weapons. Your ground ball rate is up this year. Maybe it's something about the angle or something's gone. But like every statistic you don't necessarily want to see this year going up is there, with the exception of strikeouts going down. Strikeouts are going down, but so is your slugging, man. Like, flip it around. I'm cool with more strikeouts if it means that you're knocking in runners. Great. You need to fix yourself at the plate this year. That's a reality, even if your defense is stellar. Three, I think that Julio having a regression, a down year, a disappointing season should not have sunk the Mariners, and it's kind of on an organization if they're planning on one player being an MVP. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a deep frustration about an organization and organizational failures is being placed on, why weren't you better? They were counting on you. And it's like, yeah, but why were they counting on him? I think the question.
I think it's fair for an organization to count on guys. You're supposed to.
I don't think that you need to hinge your... I think that doing basically nothing in the offseason except for bring in some older veterans and then say, we really have faith that Julio's going to continue to play like an MVP and that Jorge Polanco's going to be healthier and that Garver's going to get some of that pop back. Like, the plan surrounded Julio. First of all, Jerry DiPoto's plan surrounded Kelnick and Julio working out.
Well, you bring in the other names, and yeah, that's tough. But to expect Julio to play at a certain level, I think that's completely fine. He did this to himself. He's that good. But the other spot, the other players like Polanco and all these other guys, and I can get with that.
Yeah.
But for Julio, heck yeah. I expect you to play like an all-star. And I think that's a privilege, honestly, to have those expectations, because you honestly set them for us because you showed us you can do it.
Yes. I think that it's kind of like, I see it as like, when we're having that Davey Martinez conversation about like when does it become a manager's fault, even when it, quote, isn't, that's kind of how I see the front office. At a certain point, even if this guy's underperforming, it sucks for you guys. Like, that didn't make your jobs easier, but you had to recognize that you should be a contender and make a few more moves.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, after getting swept last night by the Yankees, the Mariners face the best pitcher on planet Earth, Detroit's Tarek Skubal, tonight on Apple TV. What's the real headline?
Congrats, prospect hoarders. This is your moment. No, this is very cool. The number 3 overall pick's awesome. It was unexpected for the Mariners, and it's a cool opportunity.
I think we got ours confused.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I read the wrong one. Oh, no.
You know, she's
Well,
doing.
that's how you know it's
she's
not.
doing what partners do. You know, like you think they're listening to you, and you're not really.
Well, no,
you're
I was
just
staring at what.
zoned
I'll
out.
tell you what I did. I looked at the clock. I saw 19, and I thought it feels like we're on the third one. And then I looked at the third one. Let's skip the third one then. I already spoiled it. The second headline I wrote, God really does give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. I feel like it's a when it rains it pours situation, but it would be very Mariner to like win this game against Skubal, score a ton of runs, and then lose
the next 2.
Then lose the next 2. I
Go
think
1
that would
and 5
be,
on the road trip.
That would be that feels right.
That'd be very Mariner.
That'd be very Mariner.
Very
God, I remember last year when they went to Detroit, didn't they lose like 2 games that were just horrible, like blowout losses?
I blocked that.
And then
from
I think
my
Javi
memory.
Baez hit a walk-off home run in that series too. Boy, sorry for bringing that up.
Yeah, I think
especially after what we witnessed last night.
we're supposed to make
Woof.
people excited, Curtis. We're
Hey,
supposed to
great
want to
opportunity to
listen.
get back in the win column. 3 more chances to get some W's.
Randa, hey, did Robbie Ray make the All-Star?
Oh yeah,
He did.
yeah, he's there.
Great news.
Dang. I don't know. I was just looking at the list of pictures. And,
No, I love this.
looking at Robbie
Okay,
and
now
just-
it's my turn to pile on. We're circling back around. My turn again. So I guess we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully no more tipping pitches. And
You really messed this segment up. I just
I
want to
did.
say.
Could I? First of
You
all,
really messed it up.
First of all, I don't normally mess up. Okay.
I'm just teasing. Don't be all. Don't
I
get
took
all.
us off the rails one time.
Oh, I do it all the time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
You be
just-
talking about hockey, and then I'll bring in golf some way. So don't worry about it.
I'm trying my best. You know what it also is? Something about this general conversation about Julio, about roster building, about buying or selling gets me really fired up, and I get very one-track minded. Like, I get real fired up.
Yeah,
about
I kind of
this.
just like sit back once we start talking Mariners roster and all that stuff, because I know you're about to go ham sandwich on these people.
Not ham sandwich. I just get really.
That's ham sandwich.
I get very.
Ham
I don't know why I
sandwichy.
get so defensive. I really don't. I'm trying to like psychoanalyze myself. I think it's because I see lots and lots and lots of criticism over a mentality that then people employ when they lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just, I don't know, it's tough.
I was looking back at that series against the Tigers last year. The Mariners lost the opening game
Curtis,
15-1.
Like, I don't know
They
that this
lost
is relevant
the second
or necessary
game
for you
in
to say.
10 innings, 3-2. And then in the finale, the Mariners had a 1-0 lead in the 8th inning. And the Mariners only had 1 hit in that game.
Oh, my God.
And they lost 2-1. That was the game when Baez hit the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning.
Nice.
That game that the Mariners got 1 hit in was there was an opener for the Tigers that day. It was a bullpen day, and the Mariners had 1 hit.
You know what? That does bring me back to at the beginning of the show when you mentioned like what we saw being no hit through 7, down 5-0, whatever. You hadn't had a team come back since the Pirates in '77. The Mariners are really good at doing
The improbable.
the improbably painful things. It's impressive.
It's impressive.
It's impressive when you think about it. Like if your team does something so bad that it's like not since the Vietnam War, and you're like, wow, that's special. That's crazy. Anyways, coming up next, one very famous quarterback hates the idea of an 18-game schedule.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the Whitaker. Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Are you still using allergy pills and sprays to treat your allergy attacks? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few of the sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get relief, easily, quickly, and permanently. Find us in Federal Way or Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard.
Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier.
Extension through the 2029 season. His contract now matches the length of head coach extension through the 2029 season. His contract now matches the length of head coach Ben Johnson's. Bears with Poles as GM are only 15-36 though since he took over in 2022.
Potential. That's what they're paying him for. Potential. And honestly, on paper, they had one of the best off seasons too.
They did.
So how many games they win last year? Like 4 or 5?
I don't know. They had the 10th pick. I think 5.
Yeah, I think he has a good relationship. We've learned, especially here too, right? Like if your GM has a good relationship with ownership and you make them believe in your mission, no matter what your team does, they're going to ride with you. So good for him. But I honestly think that the Bears will be better this year. I think most people think that. They had a good offseason. So here we go.
Count Patrick Mahomes is the biggest voice against an 18-game schedule. This is what he said speaking with CNBC's Alex Sherman.
You know, I always say the more games, it's a little bit more taxing on the guys that play the game. And so if there was a way that they were to get 18 games in the schedule through negotiations or whatever that is, collective bargaining agreement, I think that you'd have to find a way to have more bye weeks, more time spread out because I mean, you've seen the amount of injuries that have kind of piled up there at the end of seasons, and you want to have the best players playing in the biggest games. And so if there were a way to get to 18 games, I'm not a big fan of it. But if there were a way, I think you got to add some bye weeks in there to get more time for guys' bodies.
How to figure out an 18th game and an 18-game schedule, which feels inevitable. You went to 17. It feels like it's going to happen. The most fascinating thing about that to me is how bye weeks are going to work.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are lots of proposals, lots of different approaches you could take. Some people are like universal bye week, everyone gets it here, and then you have the separate bye week. But like, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle outside of wear and tear on bodies.
You need 2 bye weeks.
You need 2 bye weeks.
I want to say the CFL has 2 bye weeks because they have 18 games in their season.
See how it works.
Yeah, it's tough on the body. It's tough on the mind. But I think it can be done.
Yeah.
And it's going to get done. Even if Pat Mahomes tries to get a petition going to stop it from happening, the owners want it, you get more money. TV deals are going to change a bit. It's all about revenue. It's going down.
So you're right. The CFL has now a 21 weeks. Now that they're 21 weeks regular season.
They have 21
18
weeks?
games with 3 bye weeks.
So 18 games in a 21-week period.
So the extras. But again, I need to know how they do the buys.
They also have groups of 6.
Yeah. Significantly fewer teams.
And they only have,
with.
like, what, 10 teams or something like that?
Yeah, now 9. No, yeah. Yes, 9.
Their season goes from June to November. I didn't realize their season was that long.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
We got to, you know who's going to be watching the CFL?
This sicko right next to us, yeah.
Sick freak.
Seek help, man.
Bub's about to come in October. It's tough, man. My team's on their 3rd bye, so once again, I have nothing to watch.
I got nothing to watch, man.
I'm going to be trying to convince them to watch Love Island.
Their season, they get summer, fall, and winter. That's kind of cool, though. Like, football changes with the weather. It's kind of cool.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck on the buys. I'm stuck 2 conversations back because I've been trying to wrap my mind around how it would work. I promise you, there will be a time when they go to 18, when they get 2 bye weeks, when we will complain about the timing of the bye weeks.
Yeah, of course.
It will disadvantage someone, probably a couple teams, every single year.
Watch a team have like 2 buys in a month or something like that.
I mean, in theory, it would give your guys a really concentrated area of time to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm convincing myself the other way. We got to move to the next story here, but it's still about scheduling. Also, in that same interview with CNBC, Commissioner Roger Goodell was asked about the scheduling headaches fans get when games are flexed from Sunday to a Thursday.
You know, Jim, that's one of the things we really focus on. We've averaged 2 games a year that we flex. It's very infrequent that we do it. That is the number one concern, is what's the impact on our fans. Last year was the first time we flexed a Thursday game. It worked very well. We had very little fan reaction. we monitor that very closely. But it also helps us work to make sure the best game is on for our broader fan base in around the country and around the world now. But that is a singular focus for us, Jim, and we don't take it lightly when we move a game. But it doesn't happen very frequently.
Yeah, it doesn't. When it does, though, those fans are usually pretty ticked off. You've paid for a plane ticket. You've already scheduled and booked your hotels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then imagine thinking you're playing on a Sunday, now you're playing on Thursday. What if you're going to bring your kids? School's different.
You're not going to that game anymore.
Nah, you're probably selling the ticket.
Another standout scene from Netflix's quarterback, Kirk Cousins, taking full blame for his early season performance on a voice memo to Falcons OC Zach Robinson.
Z-Rob and TJ, I'm just driving back from the game and would have a better understanding of things after I watched the film, but just coming away from it just felt like I wasn't that sharp. Hey, Ra, I just wanted to say, driving back, I haven't watched the film yet, but I just personally don't think I'm playing well enough. There's nobody to blame. It's not my ankle. I just haven't been playing well enough, and I just feel like you need to hear that from me, and then I'd love to just talk about, what you're seeing and what you think we can do better. I feel like I'm leaving a lot out there with Drake, like some of those corner route, flag routes. My bad on the sack fumble. I just got thrown off when the pivot broke out. I don't know if you guys are gonna say it, so I'll just say it. Like, I don't think I'm playing well enough. And I don't wanna be saying this 4 more weeks from now. And I'm thrilled we won, and I don't wanna be a Debbie Downer, but I gotta play better. And I kinda wanna get to the bottom of why I'm not playing better ASAP. So just thought I'd say that. Thanks.
I'm about to leave a voice note to you and Curtis while I'm driving home today about headline rewrites. Hey guys, I'm just driving home today, and I just want to say that was my best. I was looking at the wrong headline rewrite. I know I left us hanging there, and I know you guys aren't going to say it. I'll just say it. This is tough. This is tough for me.
You don't need to do that, Stacy.
Can you imagine if it is honorable to take accountability? I'm going to be really honest, though. If someone was doing that after every show, hey, I just got to say, I really apologize for that one thing that I did. I'd be like, you gotta just walk it off.
That says a lot about Kirk. And, me coaching high school football, that's one of the best things, like when a player hits me up and just takes accountability. Like, yeah, coach, I messed this up, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, don't worry about it. We can work on it. If you were deny, then there's going to be issues there. But you know what? It's not always on the player, too. I'm sure the OC is going to come back or came back and said, I would have called a couple plays differently here or set you guys up there. So it's a working relationship, a healthy working relationship.
Aiden Hutchinson gave CBS Sports an update on his rehab from a broken tibia and fibula.
I'm exactly where I need to be, and every year I've been able to improve on my own physical attributes along with the mental ones. So I feel like every year I take a step, and despite having that rehab this offseason, I feel like I'm in the perfect spot and exactly where I need to be going into year 4.
So the Lions, obviously, hoping to. They're interesting. A really, really great team. That sounds like a really dumb take for me to have, but what I mean is, I wonder if they can actually get it done.
OC gone, DC gone. You still got Dan Campbell there.
What if that was the teeny opportunity and it just slipped away?
Well, I believe they promoted someone from inside for the offense. The offense is what I'm most concerned about or curious to see, because defensively, you have your rules and you play them, right? Offensively is you are on the attack mode, and it's easier for defensive coordinators to come in and run the same system rather than an offensive guy, because you're calling plays to attack a defense and sequencing and all that good stuff. We'll see. If they are able to bounce back and have a good season, another reason to tip your cap to Dan Campbell and just appreciate what he's doing over there.
We have Jeremy Fowler's newest list. This one is tight ends. Did you already look at it? Don't
No,
look.
I didn't.
You could guess who's number 1.
Could I?
I think you'll either guess 1 or 2.
Okay.
For 1. So
Okay.
what do you guess is number 1? Who would you guess, I should say?
Kittle?
He is number 2. I know you.
Mm-hmm.
What if you make another guess?
Dang, Brock Bowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
See? Yes, it's Brock Bowers. Then it's George Kittle. No Seahawks made the list. Sam Laporta.
Okay.
Trey McBride. Lots of young guys on this list. Trey McBride just getting an extension. Still got the old heads. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson at number 7, Isaiah Likely, Baltimore with both tight ends on here, Dallas Goedert, and David Njoku for the Cleveland Browns. Honorable mentions, all familiar names that you guys already know about, guys like Dalton Kincaid, Pat Freiermuth. No Seahawks at all on this list, including also receiving votes. Tight end is a really fascinating position for me with Seattle because you're paying Noah Fant a not insignificant salary. He's a former first-round pick, not by you, but obviously by the Broncos. I'm curious to see what he actually looks like this year.
I think the young Bucks apply some pressure.
Yeah.
And we see him out there a bit more.
All right, we are opening up phone lines at 1. One of the big debates that we've been having with people is whether the Mariners should buy, whether they should sell. So we're going to frame it as, think about how you feel. If the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it? If you're someone who's like, yeah, great, you got to do it. I'm not feeling it this season, then tell us why. If you're someone that would be devastated, we want to know why you'd be devastated. So we're going to stick around that topic. Open phone lines. It's going to be 866-979-3776 coming your way in 20. Don't go anywhere.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Bryant, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big dumper.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are here 24/7. 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Upgrade your view and comfort with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July, and enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. This summer, Pier 62 is your place to move, breathe, and feel alive. Friends of Waterfront Park invites you to free weekly fitness on the waterfront. Stretch out with yoga every Wednesday evening. Unwind with sound baths right after. Then turn up the energy Sundays with high-vibe Zumba classes by We Move to Give. All bodies welcome and totally free. Just register online and enjoy Seattle's waterfront like never before. Details and registration at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
Riverside Roofing has earned GAF Master Elite President's Club certification, which puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers nationally. They're right here out of Marysville. You can find them at riversideroofingllc.com, and they are the roofing company you can trust.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With
rewards. 24 monthly bill credits. New line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement. $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payout via virtual prepaid for below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Maura Dooley here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
It's the Graz here for my friends at Premier Golf. Take advantage of early sunrise and late sunset at the 11 different Premier courses today. From Bellingham, Everett, and Marysville to Linwood, Bellevue, and Seattle, even out on the coast, they've got a course near you. Play Inter Bay or Jackson, Bill Wright or West Seattle, Bellevue, Legion Memorial, Walter Hall, Linwood, Cedar Crest, Lake Patton, and even Ocean Shores. Courses are in great shape and ready for your next round. Visit PremierGolfCenters.com. That's PremierGolfCenters.com and book your tee time today.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chunky chunkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Some interesting stuff from John Morosi to kickstart our conversation here. We're opening up phone lines in 12 minutes. Don't call yet. You're just going to annoy Brady. It's his job today. Encourage
you don't want to annoy me. Don't do it.
Don't call.
Call him right now.
Call him now. The number is 866-979-3776. You think someone's just going to call and say, hey, Brady, I just wanted to say hi.
Just checking in.
You're doing a great job on the Brady staring me down.
Nobody would call on to say I'm doing a great job because until about 2 seconds ago, nobody knew I was probably on the board.
But now they know, Brady, and now they're going to call you and just say, I just want to say you're doing a great job today.
You're getting right on the air if you're doing that.
No, you don't need to call yet. But again, 11 minutes from now, we're going to talk about whether or not the Mariners should be sellers at the deadline. We're starting out with if they were sellers, how would you feel about it? But we're also treating it like an open segment. If you want to call in and be like, they should absolutely not do this. What are you talking about? This is where the Mariners are. This is how they're making me feel. We know that this is an opportunity to vent for a lot of people, just like we've been venting at times for hours a day. So we're just going to have a conversation. So let me get to this John Morosi sound here, Bump. I don't know if it's going to make people feel better, but it certainly sparks an interesting debate. John Morosi this morning says, this is what the Yankees series showed us.
This is what happens when the team is average. And that's what I think the Mariners are. Now, they still can get better as the season goes along. But when we ask the question, why are they now, despite a very auspicious start when it looked like maybe the division would be theirs for the taking, why are they now tied for the last playoff spot in the American League? And I think it's exactly what we're describing here, is that on their best days, they can beat anyone. And on their worst days, they can lose to anyone. Now, the Yankees aren't just anyone. They're still a really good team themselves. This is life as a fringe playoff team in the American League. The Mariners, for me, they still do not hit well enough top to bottom to consistently beat good pitching.
I'm going to couple it with one more. John believes the next few weeks will dictate a lot when it comes to this team's decision-making.
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office something that this team is worth adding to. So whether that ends up being more contributions from even a younger guy like Young, Williamson, they've obviously had to rely on some younger players along the journey here, but they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh, that they belong in the conversation and that this roster is worth sacrificing some talent to upgrade.
Can I say something about that take?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
I love JP. I think John Morosi is so smart and so spot on with so many of his takes. I don't even wildly disagree. I think he's right. I think the team's going to have to like show the front office and ownership like, no, this is worth it. Like they kind of are going to have, they're not super risk takers. They're going to want to see something. However, I think that it's almost like setting yourself up for failure if you have two rookies and you're looking at them or someone who has no business proving to you that you should be a playoff team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, I don't know that Cole Young is going to prove to you that you should invest in this team. I think you should just decide now. I think you should just decide to go for it or not. Because I don't think Ben and I don't think Cole can, should, or will somehow make this important case. I think they're young guys who are learning and developing. And frankly, on a more well-rounded team, maybe you wouldn't see both here. You'd be able to send one down to get some extra work in or do whatever it is. You know what I mean? I get what John's saying. Someone outside of Cal is going to need to show that adding a bat or two matters. But in order to be that team, you need to add a bat or two.
Cole Young can't even figure out if he wants to have a mustache or not.
You know, for some people, that's a difficult decision to
like
make.
That's how young my man is.
You.
Sometimes it does. That's too much responsibility put on some young guy. Show me that is no. They shouldn't even. They shouldn't be in show me mode. Those guys. They should be just work on your game, focus on getting better day by day, and through that process, ownership will or should decide what they want to do with these young players, or management will decide what they want to do with these young players. No, let them be young. You know, it's like when you try to keep your kids' innocence. You know, I've been trying to keep my kids' innocence for so long. My oldest is 15 now. You know, he's slowly moving into, I know about things. You know what I'm saying? Like but my other two, I'm trying to keep them as young as possible for so long and not rush the process with them. That's the way you should be looking at these two. You don't want to keep them as a AAA type of player, but you also don't want to force them into the spotlight or put so much weight on their performance to where it affects your decision-making, your major decision-making.
Yeah.
No, that's for the dogs up top. That's for Julio, Kyle, JP. Yeah, that's for those guys. That's why when they're up, that's why when I think Cole was the last strikeout of the game, either last night or the night before, it was just an ugly swing. He was so fooled. He looked like he was just a young man in that moment, and he's going to have more of those. So, no, that's too much to ask for these young guys.
Like, look, I know that some of you are going to disagree with me on this. This sounds hypocritical. I've been saying for weeks that someone, as all of us have, someone outside of Cal is going to need to rake if you want to be a team. Someone outside of Cal needs to hit. Yes, that's true. That's fundamentally true about this team. Is Cal's season not kind of enough on its own to want to add?
Should be.
Is the American League wildcard race not kind of messy enough on its own to want to add? Devil's advocate, does this team need to show anything? Or does the situation you find yourself in, being a fringe wildcard team that just needs to choose up, does that situation you're in itself make you want to buy? Because to me, I see no great reason to sell pieces that are about to be free agents. Your pieces that are about to be free agents are guys you don't even want on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could sell Randy, but that's essentially punting on the season. That's what you're doing.
Don't do it.
So why do it? I'm sorry. Like, I know the Yankees are a wild card team. I know technically, they aren't like, the most dominant team in baseball. But they're the Yankees. I look at other fringe wild card teams. You talked about Boston and their schedule. Like, I don't know that I think that the Mariners are substantially worse. And I don't think it's fair to say, well, they got to show me that they can be better. No, you put them here. Why don't you make them better?
Make them better.
Why don't you add? I love John Morosi. I understand why people want to sell, but I don't know that they need to show you anything else. I think Cal's first half, I think not making the playoffs for the bulk of your existence. And I think that a messy wildcard race should be reason enough. But I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. How would you feel if the Mariners were sellers? What do you want them to do at the deadline? 866-979-3776. Call now.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin, to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Roof now, pay later. No payments until 2027. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Since 1968, we've helped homeowners just like you get beautiful, durable roofs without breaking the bank. Book today and lock in summer pricing before it's too late. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news from earlier this morning. The Mariners and Julio Rodriguez have announced the center fielder will not be participating in this year's All-Star game. From a statement, quote, he will take the break to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half. The Mariners open a series against the Tigers today, 4:10 p.m. first pitch. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, taking your calls. Phone lines open, 866-979-3776. If the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it? What do you want them to do? We have so many. Okay, let's go to line. We'll start line one with Mike. Mike, if the Mariners were sellers, how would you feel?
I'd feel pretty good because it would mean that we're probably getting rid of the front office and this 10-year experiment is over. And to be completely honest, I wouldn't want Jerry Dipoto buying anything for a playoff race anyway because he has shown over 10 years he doesn't know how to build a championship roster. So what's the point of getting rid of all of our prospects when you don't have a championship roster? I'd rather have somebody else get all those assets to see what they can do with it.
Okay, I do have a follow-up question. How would you feel? Because from what we all know, right, like Dipoto signed an extension, or am I misremembering? How would you feel about them selling knowing Dipoto will be here in 2026?
I won't be watching the Mariners again next year if Dipoto's still in charge.
So it's
And I haven't watched them all this year.
You haven't watched? Hang on, wait, Michael. Michael, stop right now.
Whoa.
You haven't watched the Mariners this year?
Nope. I follow Cal stats. Me and my best friend told ourselves we would not go to Mariners games or spend the money on Root Sports after Jerry Dipoto's mess last year.
Now, Mike, my friend, you're looking at box scores and you're telling me that, like, I don't believe in this team. I don't know. Like, what do you know about this team if you haven't watched a single game?
I know a lot because I can check out highlights on Instagram. And I know Cal Raleigh is the team. And that's exciting. That is exciting. I'm sorry. He's exciting. He's amazing. What's up?
No, you can't come on here with these strong opinions. And you're like, yeah, man, I ain't watching no games. I'm just on Instagram watching the clips.
Mike, you got to be in the mud.
I get it. Look, I'm a
you're
lifelong
not. Mike,
Mariners
you're watching
fan.
us from the shore. for it. We're
Edgar
in the
Griffey.
mud.
I want a serious team.
I do too,
I'm
man.
not
I
gonna
do
waste
too.
my money and give them my money without a serious front office and a serious ownership anymore.
Okay.
Look at it's sad. It's just
It is.
every year we just get pissed off, and I don't know if I can say pissed off on air, but we do. And it's like
I'll let it slide. Don't
the
say it again.
pissed-offness is fun, and you can handle it when you have some years of fun. But if you don't have any, it's getting kind of depressing.
I don't disagree with you, Mike. I am going to go to our next caller.
Mike.
Thank you for calling in and being a good
Mike, watch
sport
a
about
game.
it.
Watch one game for me, Mike.
What if something cool
and
does
then call
happen?
and then call in and tell us what you saw in that game.
No, you know what's going to happen? There's going to be something crazy happening, like they carry another no-hitter late, and I'm going to have to tweet, like, someone find Mike and like tell him he's going to miss this. Like, just this one time. Mike.
Oh, man. That's
You know what I
funny.
will say,
That's
though, on
funny.
a serious note, I do think I get what Mike is saying.
He's got some love on the text lines.
Yeah, because I think that there are a lot of people, especially if like I grew up here and feel that way, and I know there are people older than me that feel that way even more. You know what I mean? It's like the pain gets worse. So I get what Mike is saying. I think it comes down to how people can choose to experience their team however they want. I know we have to watch for work, so it's different, right?
Yeah, you can experience it the way you want to, but then you can't come on a sports talk radio show and have these strong opinions like you've been in the trenches. You ain't been in the trenches, dog.
Mike, you were funny about it.
You were, though,
I'll
Mike.
let
We
it slide.
appreciate
I'll
you.
even let you say a word you shouldn't say on air. I'll let that one slide.
You can say
too.
that. You know what? I'm tired of not being able to say stuff. Wyman says stuff all the time.
It's funnier
Does
that
he
you're
get the-
drawing.
He gets the OG pass.
Why does Wyman do it? Okay. Scott. We have another line open. 866-979-3776. Anytime we're done with someone, one more line pops up. Scott in Redmond. Scott, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
Well, there's some factors. It's not a fair question. Are they one game out or 2 games out, the wild card? Or are they like 10 games out?
Let's say they're where they are now. They're right out.
They're games out. Then guess you want to sell, but what are you really going to get for what we got? You're developing rookies, and like everybody says, Poto hasn't had the money to get free agents, but that's how you have to look at it. I mean, that's going to be the tough question. It's a 50-50. If you're out, you can't make the playoffs, and your pitching's hurt because it's also about injuries. Now, how about the starting pitching? Are these guys hurting? And then they don't have to report the injuries. So if these people are hurt and they can't do their work, then our credibility is shot. Without our pitching, and our spotty offense, we're either really good or we're really bad.
Yeah.
Baseball's always been about consistency. Even in sports, it's always been about consistency. So we have no consistency. We're the up and down, and it's interesting. But
Consistently inconsistent. Thank you, Scott. Scott saying, look, it's going to depend where we are, but if they're under 500, if they're out of the chase, even if it's at the deadline, he's not really feeling it. Scott also calling in. I just want to let you know, Stace, dumb question, my answer to it. Grady and Bremerton. Grady, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
I'm going to be pretty pissed. I'm with them all the way until we are mathematically out. I'm sticking with them. We need to. I can't believe Mike. That was crazy.
Mike said, "Find me on the gram."
I don't know how to respond to that kind of a call. I mean, they really blew it yesterday, yeah. But I've been a Mariners fan for 35 years. I'm sticking with them through thick and thin. Yeah, they make me angry a lot, but I'm still, until we're mathematically out of it, I don't want to be no seller.
Yeah, Grady, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. Let's go to Robert in Renton. Robert, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
I would be very disappointed. I think that we shouldn't do anything at the deadline because I think that Jerry Poto has had 10 years to craft a baseball team to get in the playoffs, and he's only been able to do it once by backing into the playoffs in the wild card spot. So he should keep what he has, and if we don't get in the playoffs or we don't win a playoff series, then he should be fired. I don't want to get rid of any of our prospects when we have somebody like him who's bungling everything.
Thanks for the call, Robert. It feels like bump before we have other callers. We also have some open lines, 866-979-3776. General sounding off about the team. We're focused on the deadline, what you would want to do. How would you feel if they were sellers? But I know there are a lot of emotions about this team right now. Am I wrong in assuming just because the Mariners sell or just because they don't make the playoffs that suddenly, like, I know that some of you are not fans of the front office, but, like, I don't think that suddenly guarantees that that's going to change. I think we're looking at this team, this front office, being much the same, still here in 2026. Are you going to the playoffs this year or not? I guess that's just how I look at it.
I can get with you on that.
Yeah.
I also think that DePoto is controlled by the people above him as well, right? He makes decisions, right? He's the baseball mind or whatnot, but they all have to be on the same page for this thing to work. So say they were to remove DePoto. I'm not asking them to do that. I'll never ask for someone's job. You feel the way you want about it. They're going to bring in a guy that's aligned with how they think, though. So how much change really is there going to be? We put a lot of responsibility on DePoto, as we should, but he answers to people. Those people still control some of his decision-making.
All right, let's go to CJ in Seattle. CJ, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
I'd be extremely upset. And this falls in line with Mike. I liked Mike. That was a good call. But the thing is, I refuse to pay to watch the game because I grew up not paying. And as an adult now, we pay for the stadium, right? And so that being said, if they would have said when we bought or decided to draft up having the stadium that we would also have to pay to watch it, I would like to see how that would have gone over at that time. It wouldn't have been good with me. And so I anticipate they won't outright sell. I think they like to be where they are. It's kind of like the sweet spot for the business because we've never gone in. It prevents us from going into a full rebuild like a Marlin situation.
Well, what do you want them to do?
Teams at the bottom.
Like, I agree with you. It would feel like kind of the same over and over, right? We're in Groundhog Day here. But what do you want them to do?
I would like them to – I just want them to do something – it doesn't have to be drastic, but just do something that adds, Yeah. I feel like I was in the minority when they got Canzone. Dude looks like – do you guys see Wally Banyas in him? I sure do. That's what he looks like to me. No one ever talks about that. That's okay. But I want us to get a first baseman. That's what I want us to do and get rid of this, whatever this is, platoon stuff. Because, then I like that I see position players that they're developing because I feel like Julio's kind of like, I can't count that because of phenom, but traditional building up of positional players, which is extremely hard to do at our ballpark. So that's what I want. If we go get a good first baseman, I'll be happy.
Thanks for the call, CJ. CJ said, yeah, it's going to be Groundhog Day. If they end up selling, it's just going to kind of be, for me, the same season over and over, which is why he wants them to add, and he's looking at first.
You ever see the cartoons or something of someone paddling a boat on one side and just going in a circle and a circle and a circle?
Seen the cartoons, Bump. I've done this.
That's essentially what he's describing right there. Like, what's the move that's going to just drastically change things? It's only two ways to go. Since you're in the middle, just circling, you do something to drastically change in the positive, or just tear everything down and start all over. And if you tear everything down and start all over, people might be in the streets rioting.
Yeah. When you sit in the middle, I remembered you and Curtis singing, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the two of you didn't keep it going. Brian, we'll go to line 6, Brady. Brian, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
Well, I don't think it makes any sense for them to be sellers because the whole goal of being a seller is to build up your farm system. We already have the best farm system in baseball, so what's the outcome? You might be able to make a case for not being buyers, but being a seller just doesn't make any sense.
I hear you, Brian. I agree. Can I take 2 seconds to reiterate the free agent list? I was chatting with a friend about it and kind of going over. Thank you for the call, Brian. To Brian's point, and it's a really good one of like, if you're selling, you're trying to build up. You already have young pieces. So what you're really doing is kind of just quitting and not competing this year and trying to get as much as you can from deciding that you aren't going to play this year. That's what you're doing if you sell. But I was wondering, like, when people talk about selling, what are they actually talking about? And there's multiple conversations happening. Some people genuinely mean just do some smart roster building. If you don't want to decide to keep Burrows Arena, then deal Randy and get what you can for Randy, especially in a seller's market. If you want to move on from a closer and you think Munoz will have his best value possible right now, then move on from him. Then there are people that are like, genuinely get rid of people and they just want to flush it and start over with a new group. I look at this team as many of your best players, really all except for Randy and JP, who become free agents a little sooner. Otherwise, your best players are here and do not become free agents until we're talking like after 26, 27, 28. In theory, this is your window right now. So
it's wide open.
That's where I'm kind of stumped. I'm like, if you looked at just, unless I'm wrong and I'm an idiot, if you looked at just how your contracts are as far as your core right now, like you do have this young group, and I get it. In theory, you've kind of got two separate groups, but in theory, the Cals, the Logans, all those guys, you got a couple years before you worry. Cal's already under a new
I'm not touching Munoz. I'm not touching Randy. None of that. Youngsters.
Okay, let's go to, I think this is oldest. We'll go to Mike on line 2. Mike, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
Well, I wouldn't feel that great. You know, I think that they've put together quite a good team, and they've shown what they can do. You know, preseason, I think I was really hoping to see them maybe make a trade with Castillo for Pete Alonso. You know, but, you know, obviously with the injuries we've had to our pitching staff, you know, that wouldn't have been great for us right now. You know, honestly, like you were saying, if it's above Jerry DePoto's head and we're really serious about, you know, winning in Seattle, I think John Stanton should sell the team. If you're talking about selling, we really just haven't made that many good moves to get some good hitters on the team here in the last few years. And the farm system's been putting out some good players, but we need that hitter on the team that they just haven't seeked.
How would you feel if they acquired Naylor? And it wasn't for like, I'm not talking like you're sending Cole Emerson. Like it's a trade that you might feel a little uncomfortable with, but you think is worthwhile.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, he's been a great prospect for the last few years. He's been hitting well, you know, and just an addition like that, but exactly how are we going to, you know, accomplish that without getting rid of somebody, you know? So.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Mike. And you know, he's right. You are going to have to get rid of someone. I don't think it would be deeply uncomfortable.
What are you willing to get rid of? What's the biggest name on this roster you are willing to do?
Ford. I know there are some people that would think that's deeply stupid. I completely understand.
No, I'm with you 100%.
I'm very pro playoffs,
100%.
and I think that the American League is weaker than we think. And I think if you are watching other teams in the American League, the Mariners don't feel like trash so much as they do just feel very incomplete.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sid in the Tri-Cities. If the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
To listen to Mike, I wish I could do what Mike has done. The first Mike.
He'll make you an Instagram account.
I just don't have the willpower to do it. I keep trying to be done with them because this has been a tough go for me my whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this since I was 53, since I was 7 years old. My kids would try to get involved in there in their 20s now, and all they see is losing and all this. It's brutal. If they do it this year, I'm done. That's it. I walk.
Like if they sell, you mean, or what do you mean?
If they sell, yeah, I walk. I'm done.
What do you
That's
want?
it. I'm going. To hear like Munoz and selling these, I'm driving and my stomach hurts. I mean, how could they do that?
Sorry, Sid. I hope.
How could we do it?
I agree.
I watched Colt Emerson play last night in Tri-Cities. He was here playing the Dust Devils. And I saw him make an easy error, and he didn't. I'd say trade his ass. If we could.
Sid.
For Naylor, right now.
Not Colt Emerson for Naylor. What about Harry Ford?
It's not enough.
No, I don't think you'd need to, unless I'm wrong. I don't think you'd need to. And but I agree with what you're saying.
More.
Yes, I agree. Completely agree. And I want him to be those bats from Arizona. I'm right with you, man. Thank you for calling. And
okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think a lot of people are feeling your pain too.
Said trade his butt.
Let's go to Bud in Federal Way. Bud, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel?
I'm not surprised. What did ownership say last year about spending money? They didn't. They've got the fans where they want them. If you want to see how to build a World Series team, you got to look at other teams, like the Oakland A's, like the San Diego Padres. And Julio, your biggest star, is not Ken Griffey Jr. He reminds me more of a Dave Henderson kind of hitter. So if you want success, World Series, you got to spend the money, man. I'm sorry.
Do you want him to trade some prospects at the deadline?
No. I want him to get rid of the GM. This 10-year experiment has not worked. Yeah. And if you think it's bad this year, wait until next year when the owners lock everybody out like they did in '94.
Oh, yeah, in 2026, 7. When's that CBA thing? Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks for the call.
Us fans are just along for the ride.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Bud. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were cutting out a little bit, but I got what you were saying. And it is clearly not lost on us in these conversations that there's I'm frustrated with the team, and then there's I have a bigger picture frustration that I feel like won't change.
Yeah, and that's the D word.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. The way I
mean, I think they're right. I mean, most of it, let's say 50-50 of these people calling in are pointing to decision makers, right? Yeah. Obviously, to buy or sell, it comes down to the decision makers, but they're saying essentially is that whatever they decide isn't going to be the right thing. There's no trust in the decision makers.
Fairly.
And
people have been hurt. 10
years in the game, and they haven't seen the results that they wanted. I think it's fair to question them. So that's why I think it feels like this is a big trade deadline. Yeah, this is a big one coming up.
Yeah.
But it also feels like no matter what happens, nothing's really going to change when it comes to decision makers.
Someone sent in something on the text line that I've lost, but it was a really good point. So just so you know, this is from someone texting it in. And we were in our last segment playing that sound from John Morosi. And John Morosi, it was when he said, hey, someone's going to have to show the Mariners on this team. A player's going to have to prove that, they're worth investing in. It's worth buying at the deadline. They're going to need to kind of show management and ownership something at the deadline. And you and I were saying, oh, that's kind of unfair to ask for young guys. Mm-hmm. And someone texted in and said, kind of forget players showing management something. I think ownership needs to show fans something. Mm-hmm. And what they were saying, they said the team, meaning decision makers, all of them, right? That, yes, in theory, there is an onus on players to do what the scouts who worked very hard to find them believe they can do, right? And constructing a baseball roster is a task that I'm not qualified to do. And it's difficult, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But why do they have to show anything? Why can't reason enough be that on July 11th, you go, forget what they do over the next couple of games. This team deserves to be in the playoffs. This city deserves to see a playoff team.
Right.
That's reason enough to buy at the deadline.
Buy. You're close, man. You're not close to being a contender, but you're close to being a team that you can expect to be in the playoffs. And I think that is enough for people right now to kind of jump back on board if they see you construct a roster that you can truly expect to be in the playoffs.
If you can afford to hang tight until 1:30, we're going to get right back to callers. First, we got to get to What's On Tonight.
What's On Tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's What's On Tonight.
I'll never get over how much Brady loves the What's On Tonight intro. You are rocking out loud.
It's so much fun.
Rock on. The Mariners start their final series of the first half against the Tigers. Pregame starts at 3 p.m. First pitch at 4:10 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports and also Apple TV. Don't forget Apple TV for this one. Back to your calls coming up next.
He's the southpaw from down under, Ryan Roland Smith with Wyman and Bob.
What was your reaction to Julio making the All-Star squad?
Julio going to the All-Star game is nothing but great. It's good for his confidence. I would say J.P. Crawford had a bigger case at shortstop than Julio did at center field to make the All-Star game. When you have a leadoff hitter with the on-base that he has, I thought J.P. had a bigger case.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Are you still using allergy pills and sprays to treat your allergy attacks? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few of the sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get relief easily, quickly, and permanently. Find us in Federal Way or Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and we've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience because the hotel opens up August 8th. Bookings are open at snocasino.com starting on August 8th. The expanded non-gaming floor, the destination spa, the big new entertainment space and convention center, new restaurants as well. They're combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest, now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The future is here, so why is your internet stuck in the past? With Quantum Fiber Internet, you can get next-level multi-gig speed on a reliable fiber network. Fair and honest pricing with no annual contracts or bundling required. And whole home 360 Wi-Fi to make sure your devices are ready to take you where you want to go. So you can stream, post, game, surf, like, and love to your heart's content. You do you. Let Quantum Fiber Internet take care of the rest. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
First, so that you can help us out in 10 minutes, we're going to What I Need to Know at 1:45. Obviously, get your questions in. Any question, sports, non-sports. I personally like when people ask for advice.
Ask Stacy about dogs.
Well, don't ask me. Because I don't have any answers.
Well,
I have
might.
questions.
You might.
Yeah, that's true.
You might. You've been doing a lot of research.
I'm getting a dog, and I've been doing way too much. I'm overcome with too many options. 866-979-3776. Send your questions in right now for What I Need to Know. Getting back to some callers. We are going to try to get through everyone here who's been on hold. Let's go to Harlan in Tacoma. Harlan, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would it make you feel? And also, feel free to throw in what you actually want them to do at the deadline.
Yeah, if the Mariners were sellers, I'd be pretty ticked off. The only thing I think they should sell is the farm. I don't believe the Mariners hitters in the farm system will succeed at the major league level. It's an organizational issue. The three hitters the Mariners have developed in the last 15 years, Kyle Seager, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh. That's it. That's all I can think of. Oh, maybe Dylan Moore against left-handed pitching. So, yeah, I think we should sell a farm. I think we should go get Acuna. Try and get Bregman. Bregman would be great. We need a third baseman. Try and get Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez. I know he wants to stay in Arizona, but I think they could get these guys.
Thanks for the call, Harlan. I mean, they definitely have the prospect capital. I don't know that I can co-sign not believing in any of these prospects. There are a lot of really smart baseball minds around baseball, including outside of Seattle, that like them. However, I can co-sign being aggressive at the deadline.
He's got a point.
Does he?
He named the bats that were developed.
He's got a point about them not developing.
Not developed.
Bats.
So I can see why he's looking at these guys in the farm and saying, so they don't come up here and ball. Because they don't have a history of doing it. Yeah, he's trying to get a job. Harlan, apply.
Paula, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel about it?
I'd be really, really, really pissed off. I am so tired of this. I'm with Harlan, man. I mean, Lou Piniella told him years and years ago, you got to buy some bats. And that was one of the best teams we ever had. We have a great core group of people here. And we have, I mean, why do you want to save your farm? It's like taking a nice piece of jewelry and saying, I'm not going to wear it because it's really valuable, so I'm going to put it in the vault. Well, what good does that do you? You know, sell the damn thing and get something you like and you really need.
Yeah, don't let it go down with the Titanic.
No, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Let's do it now. I'm just tired of this. The whole, it seems, you know, but I'm feeling, you know this. It's good. People that are successful in sports are risk takers. You have to take a risk. You have to believe. I mean, people don't start businesses to stay mediocre, to break even. That seems like that's all we're doing these days. Why can't we be aggressive and do something and invest in ourselves? That's what Cal asked us to do. Get the core group of guys together, get them together with people that have been winners with the Mariners, and let them decide what to do and give advice to ownership.
I'm with you.
Jeez, talk to your people.
Paula's like Jeannie Buss. Like I'm
Paula.
feeling it. You know what I'm getting out of these callers too is they're just tired, man. They're so tired of watching the same team over and over and over again, and it feels like management and ownership aren't in touch with these people because they don't do enough to give them hope. And I've been a Mariners fan for 10, 15 years. And I'm tired. So I can imagine with people like Paula and Harlan and Mike who called. They're tired, man. So you guys keep putting your frustrations out there, and hopefully things will turn.
I'll ask callers to not say peed off.
She said it too?
Ticked off. Yeah, I
Wyman
always
says it all the time.
I know, but
Wyman, I know you're listening.
Brady looks at me very angrily.
How do we get the pass that Wyman gets?
Brady looks at me very angrily. If that's something you're about to say, come up with a more creative option like ticked off, peeved, really, really angry, or I'm going to get the Death Star from Brady again. Please don't let that happen to me. We'll go to Brian in Maple Valley. Brian, how would you feel if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline?
Officially ticked off.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Because I'm tired of us being so close. We are one game out. And I think what Paula was just saying about taking a risk, a bigger risk to me is betting on your potential future. We have a lineup, at least a starting rotation, that underperformed the first half because of injuries. We're only one game back. You put two legitimate major league bats in that lineup, that is not a risk. You know what you're going to get. And you take a real lineup where Julio is just another guy and not a 24-year-old who we're all expecting the world from, and just make him like the fourth or fifth guy in a lineup with everyone performing around him. He'll get elevated. The risk, the pressure comes off of him. This team could be so good so fast. You get them in the playoffs with that rotation when you only need three guys going in the postseason. Yeah. A decent lineup, we can go as far as we want. But the risk is doing nothing and setting on maybe someday the potential of a Kellenic or Ackerley. Nothing against those young guys. I want to prove a major league bat in our lineup tomorrow.
Thanks for the call, Brian. Brian with a low-key bar. We were talking about being risk-averse. I know you heard it. The risk is doing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian.
Bar.
Let's go to Sharon. Sharon, if the Mariners were sellers at the deadline, how would you feel? And then also, like all these callers, feel free to throw in what you want them to do.
Well, I feel cheated and, to be frank with you, pretty exploited. And this is my own personal opinion, not backed up with any knowledge, so take it for what it's worth. I feel like the ownership group are in it to make a profit, but not to win. And I think there's a difference when you have that perspective. So they're quite happy to give us the experience of baseball with all of the games and the atmosphere and the fireworks and the bobbleheads and, just enough to keep us hooked, but not enough to get us to the finish line with a winning team. They seem to be, yes, risk-averse, and I don't think throwing money at a problem solves it, but being cheap isn't going to do it either. And I've been a fan since before Safeco was Safeco, and I'm exhausted. Last night, I listen in my car all the time because I travel a lot for work. So I'm in my car yelling at the radio. I'm sure other drivers must think I'm like Mad and Mim from the Disney movie, The Rescuers. I swear to goodness, it's so frustrating, and we're squandering the young talent that we have, and we're asking our young players to break themselves doing things they really, Cal is a catcher.
Yeah. Sharon, Can I ask
You know?
Can I ask you a quick question? I think there are a lot of people that agree with you. Genuinely asking, because I wonder this too. If the Mariners were fairly aggressive at the deadline, and it was clear by their acquisitions and what they sacrificed that they really wanted to get to the playoffs, would it help in your mind to work towards buying back a little bit of that faith?
I think it would, because what is the purpose of having a major league team? That's what I think ownership needs to recognize, is the fan base thinks that the purpose is to win. Pennants, trophies, you know, they want to win out. I think we're not in it for ownership making just enough of a profit. I feel cheated and exploited, and I could be way off base, but if they were, I mean, what is the point of our farm system? Is it just for us to draft, develop, and bring them up ourselves? Because we've been rebuilding and drafting and developing for 8 years.
Sharon,
what are we doing with it?
Yeah, Sharon, I appreciate the call. I also really like Sharon's voice.
There's a reason why the description says hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Because of where she's from, they
She
use
enunciated.
that. Hoodwinked.
She has a great voice.
Yes, she does.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. I promised I wanted to get to our last caller before I ran out of time. I'm going to carry that opinion. We'll carry it throughout the week. Thank you so much for calling. Brad and Edmonds, you have our last word. I'm so sorry I didn't leave you a lot of time. You got about 40 seconds.
That's okay.
How are you feeling?
Well, quickly, what I want and what happens obviously are two different. I've been a season ticket holder for 10 plus years, and I think it's 100% ownership. People, say fire Dipoto. Dipoto can only do what he can do with the checkbook that he's given. He's done amazing in the draft. Nobody can deny that, but they sometimes give him credit, but not as much. But free agency, we're not going to get a big bat here. Hitters come here to die. Safeco, T-Mobile, is just not a hitter's park. Marine Layer, call it what you want. We've had and signed people in. Hernandez, example, came here, left, went to the Dodgers, had a phenomenal last year. Boy, I could go on and on.
Oh, Brad, do we still have you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want them to be buyers. Oh, no. Brad. Oh, we'll never know. Brad, I'm so sorry. I think he was also looking at ownership for this one. I'm going to guess that's what it was. Breaking news. Randy Arozarena has been named Julio's replacement in the All-Star game. A quick reaction to that once we get back again. Breaking news just a couple minutes ago. Randy Arozarena has been named Julio Rodriguez's replacement for the All-Star game. What I need to know coming your way next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Can they do enough at the trade deadline?
They don't have to necessarily be in first place by the end of July, but you need to show the front office that this team is worth adding to. But they need to show you more from guys who are not named Cal Raleigh. I'd be paying very close attention. Emerson, Young, Celestin, to see who potentially could be the one that they move.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you don't want to go through all the hassle? I don't blame you with all the scams and security risks out there. More and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own cars. So what do you do when you want to get the most money for your car without selling it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your used car and pay right up front for it, but once they resell your old car, they share half their profit with you. The question I get most is obviously, well, what's the catch? But there isn't one. Here's how it works. This program means Wayscar Ford saves money by not traveling to buy cars at auction, which means not paying purchase fees, not paying shipping fees, and no travel expenses. Now they can just share that saved money with you rather than outside vendors. It's a win-win. They encourage you to shop around, but look, if Wayscar Ford can pay the same or more as competitors and share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you go anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with their customers. It's only at Wayscar Ford in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
This summer, the perfect night out is under the stars at LeMay, America's Car Museum drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films and make memories. Catch the Transformers on July 27th. Space is limited. Reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
Riverside Roofing has earned GAF Master Elite President's Club certification, which puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers nationally. They're right here out of Marysville. You can find them at riversideroofingllc.com, and they are the roofing company you can trust.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Shannon Dreyer here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help in finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Crank up the hits and bring on the boom. It's 80s fireworks night at T-Mobile Park. Get ready for a totally tubular show on Friday, July 18th. Presented by T-Mobile. The Mariners face off against the division rival Astros at 7:10. And after the game, the sky will light up to the sound of your favorite 80s jams. Big hits on the field and more big hits after dark. Grand slam! Julio takes it deep and clears it off. Mariners baseball, fireworks, and hair metal? Sounds like a rad night. Lock in your seats now at Mariners.com and check out what else is on deck at the ballpark this summer, including 3 straight value games against the Brewers, July 21st through 23rd, and the next Mariners fireworks show on August 1st. Goodbye, baseball! He does it again! Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy
Weekdays 10 to 2.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know, says our first texter. Bump, you're a professional athlete. How would you feel, in my Brock Heward voice, if you were on this Mariners team?
How would I feel? I would feel like we just don't have enough to be consistent, but we got a chance every time we go out there. I'd be like, all right, boys, let's go. We got a chance, but
Yeah.
it'd be like Wazoo. Like I knew like we were gonna get clapped sometimes, and I'm like, we'll catch you slipping, though. Don't trip.
I do think, I've never been in that mindset, but I do think that that's something that's probably pretty universal among professional athletes, is like, at the end of the day, it's your career. So if you're someone in this clubhouse and you hear someone say, well, maybe, let's set our eyes on next year or the year after, you're thinking, but I'm here now. I only have a certain number of years. I want to win all the time. And there's probably always a very competitive edge in a clubhouse, in a locker room, no matter the record, that kind of stays there. Like every former player that I've ever interviewed or hosted, or like hosting with you, are deeply competitive people.
Yeah, there's also, and money changes people too. There's someone on that roster that's like, as long as my check's clear, I'm going to go handle me, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably Cal. I'm just kidding. Notoriously not that way. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Which Seahawk will have the third most receptions?
JSN 1, Cooper 2, tight end 3. Insert tight end name.
Okay. If you had to guess, Arroyo. Is that too
Arroyo.
ambitious?
I'm going Arroyo.
Okay.
I'm going Arroyo.
Someone said, we have 5 All-Stars and we don't have enough. That's so wrong. Oh, I think they're saying, their previous text said, we said Randy Rosarino was just named to the All-Star team in Julio's absence. They said, a Rosarino on the All-Star team, this team isn't playing like a team with 5 All-Stars.
Well, they got 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth noting, though.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, this was a gut-punching loss, a deeply embarrassing loss. And this team has been really frustrating, and they find unique ways to lose sometimes. But I also don't know how someone looks at the team and says, I don't see any pieces.
Did any of you guys expect them to beat the Yankees?
I was hoping for one win.
I did not expect them to sweep the Yankees.
Hoping for one. We weren't sitting there like, yup, let's get it. It was like, okay, guys, go out and play hard, and let's hope we get one.
What I need to know, what current or ex-Seattle sports figure would make the best 007? Do they mean like an athlete or Seattle Sports Us?
I think
I think athlete.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if they meant us, because they said, Bump, you can't say yourself.
Well, I'm a former Seattle athlete.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, because Seattle Sports or Seattle Sports.
Yeah,
it made sense.
Right? Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
I get you.
Okay, your answer then is?
007. I would say it'd probably be like, because it got to be smooth, though. 007 is a whole.
Mm-hmm. Robinson Cano, then.
Robinson Cano.
Robinson Cano is the coolest
Nate Burleson.
athlete.
Nate Burleson.
Nelson Cruz.
Go Nate.
You can't stand out too much in a room. You got to be charming, but you can't be, like, if your answer's like, oh, DK Metcalf, he's got to be athletic. If I am an nemesis spy, I'm looking at the 6'4" dude going, is this guy a spy?
Easily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
866-979-3776. Let's see. You're buying lunch at Dick's. Do you get vanilla, chocolate, strawberry shake, and which burger do you pair it with?
I'm really basic. I don't get shakes, but if I do, I get the strawberry, and I just get 2 cheeseburgers and fry. Real basic.
What's the greatest TV show of all time?
Martin.
All time?
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you going to say, Friends?
You know what? No, I wasn't. But I was trying to think quickly of like, oh, what's the most stereotypical thing I could say? Quick. See, I have an answer of what people say.
Seinfeld.
No, everyone's like, oh, Breaking Bad. And it's like, yeah, but I wasn't obsessed with Breaking Bad.
It's
so
pretty good.
I feel like that's the answer.
Did you watch all of it?
No.
Pretty good.
Like, I feel like that's clearly the answer. It's like Breaking Bad, The Wire, you know what I mean, Sopranos. But like, I don't know, the TV shows I watch are mindless and stupid and probably make me dumber.
Just say Friday Night Lights. That's
Yeah.
critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Kyle Chandler won Best Actor at the Emmys for that.
Coach Taylor. And Tammy Taylor. Holding it down.
Oh, Tammy held that show together.
Yeah, she did. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Would you rather catch a bomb for a touchdown or touchdown off a short pass, yards after catch, you run like 60?
Give me that yiggity yak. I'm making fools miss. I want that.
Okay, wait. I'm adding on to this.
Okay.
What if, so the yards after catch is the most impressive, breaking some tackles, that's the most impressive part of that one. Or what if with the bomb 60-yard touchdown, it's like an amazing one-handed catch. Like it's a really cool catch.
I'm snatching ankles. I want the yak.
Okay. When is Cal going to be named the first ever Mariners captain?
Tomorrow. Is he not captain?
I don't think they
don't
have an official captain. Only some teams do.
I don't know if they've ever had an official one.
Do teams put the? Oh yeah, because Perez had the C on his shirt.
Some teams have like actual captains. And
I think Aaron Judge has the C actually.
Yeah, they have unofficial captain. Like JP is like kind of an unofficial captain. Cal kind of an unofficial captain. I wonder if they do it like, you know how in football locker rooms you're like offensive and defensive. You literally have captains, but I wonder if it's kind of like JP's the captain and then Cal's kind of the pitching staff and catchers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone said Entourage.
How's it going? I saw the homie in here the other day. Piven?
Yeah, Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
He was here doing an interview. It's up on SeattleSports.com and YouTube under Seattle Sports.
Nice plug.
Nice
plug to finish out the week.
Thank you so much. Wyman and Bob, who interviewed Jeremy Piven, are coming your way next.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the way to Cal, swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Celebrate 50 seasons of Seahawks football at Lumen Field and take your game day to the next level with premium hospitality and incredible views. Host a one-of-a-kind event in a private game day suite or get front row access with sideline and end zone field seats. For more on how to elevate your game day at Lumen Field, visit Seahawks.com/premium.
If
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.